what's going on, everybody? It is hot mic time here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider. How are you, Sneider?
No Johnny Boy today. I barely got a voice, but great to be here. Thanks for having me, Johnny. I'm alive.
Welcome.
48 hours ago, if you'd asked me, is it more likely you're going to be dead in 48 hours or on the air in 48 hours? I think I would have said I'll probably be dead.
Wow. What did you catch? Let the people know. What did you catch?
It was the norovirus. I must have, not to get all TMI on you guys, but it must have thrown up 50 times on Tuesday. I couldn't keep anything down. Do I look thin?
Yes, you look very thin. The white looks good on you, man.
It tore up my throat pretty good.
So we're gonna see how long you last for today. You know, we usually have a pretty long show, so we'll see how long you can hang with the people today. But we got so much to get into, y'all. So I'm glad Jeff's found the strength and energy to come back. This is why I still wear a mask when I go out to public places, when and if I ever go out to public places, because I hear that norovirus is a killer. Christian had it for a few days. I had to host the show because he had it for a couple of days. So it was pretty bad stuff. So I'm trying to stay away from this stuff. But we got so much to get into here in the world of entertainment. A lot of big stuff going on. A lot of news going on with the X-Men stuff. What are the rumors? Jeff breaking some rumors about some more casting stuff, possibly. Some people breaking other rumors about more casting stuff. We've also got stuff going on. Rob Liefeld's got a little axe to grind with Kevin Feige over at Marvel as well. Black Panther news. Someone push a well-known producer of Black Panther franchise pushing back on Jeff's notion that they're going to recast T'Challa. And that's just the Marvel side of things. Then we got all the stuff going on with casting and entertainment and what have you. So much to get into here. Remember, the Streamlabs Super Chats are open. Streamlabs right above Jeff's head. The Super Chats, you know how it goes here. So we're going to do it. We're going to do our thing. So let's just start off there, Jeff. Let's just start off with the X-Men stuff. Where are you right now with everything? You broke the possibility that certain people might be getting cast. I think, of course, a couple of weeks ago was Sadie Sink. Then last week we had ourselves a possibility for Scott Summers as well. And now we got ourselves another casting. So where are you at with all of this? Where's your feelings on all this? Like, what are we doing here?
To be clear, these are all rumors. That's why they're labeled rumors. Okay.
Harris Dickinson for Scott Summers and Julia Butters for Kitty Pryde. Go ahead. Yes.
I mean, obviously, Dickinson is going to be busy with the Beatles movies.
Yes. Right.
So it's like, is he even going to be available for this? But Joseph Quinn is also supposed to be busy with the Beatles movies.
Yes.
Part of the Fantastic Four, who I imagine are going to be involved somehow in these sequels, Avenger sequels, I think. So
yes,
you know, it's like, I don't understand the scheduling of it all. I just know he is okay. I've heard one other name, but I haven't heard it specifically for Cyclops. So I've heard a name that there's general interest in.
Okay.
Like a Harris Dickinson type.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if it's not Harris Dickinson, maybe it's this other guy, but I haven't heard him specifically for Cyclops.
Right.
To me, the Julia Butters thing makes a ton of sense.
Yes.
I mean, again, she has worked with Spielberg and Tarantino, handpicked by those two people.
Yep.
And then worked with the Russos.
Yes.
And she is the star of Freakier Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, which, again, feels like training wheels for something bigger at Disney.
Right.
So that, to me, that's not out of line. I don't think Sadie Sink is out of line either. I mean, it's not like you're not going to make Finn Wolfhard Batman.
No.
Like, you're not going to make Gaten Matarazzo Superman, but like one of these Stranger Things kids is going to pop off. It's going to be her and Millie Bobby Brown.
Right.
The girls.
This is someone pointed that out on Twitter, how Joseph Quinn was on Stranger Things for one season, and he's already kind of moving past the entire franchise. And a lot of these kids who've been part of Stranger Things can't seem to jump into anything bigger. And Sadie Sink, this would be a massive move for her if it was going to be true, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course it would be a huge deal. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on, because there are other names that have been kicked around. Just today, there's rumors about, I think My Time to Shine, Hello, put out that Javier Bardem is being looked at for Mr. Sinister in the X-Men film. Do you think that that's something that passes your smell test? Does that sound like a rumor that could be true, or is that more just kind of putting stuff out to see people's reaction to it?
I would love to shoot down My Time to Shine, but that obviously sounds very true since I know personally how long they negotiated with Javier Bardem for Galactus.
Yes, right.
Fantastic Four. So that just didn't work out because he's busy with F1 and everything, and I think he probably wanted too much money. But that's Fantastic Four. X-Men, we're gonna have a bigger budget.
Yes.
So that makes a ton of fucking sense. And I know that they've been trying to use that character for a while. They were flirting with him, Banderas, right? As Mr. Sinister. Did he even show up in New Mutants? I forget.
I don't remember if he did.
Maybe it was John Hamm. Was it Banderas or John Hamm?
Banderas was supposed to be Sunspot's dad. Yes, they were kicking around that idea.
I think John Hamm was supposed to be Mr. Sinister.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's what I think. Actually, I don't know if I ever revealed that. His name was supposed to be Mr. Sinister in like New Mutants or something. So yeah, it totally makes sense that they would want to use that character and that they'd go back to Javier Bardem, that they really want him to be a part of the MCU, completely buy it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I like this idea of Javier Bardem taking on the Mr. Sinister role, if it's true. But you look at these three actors that you're talking about. I mean, this is some again, what we said last week, some very strong independent movie theater actors coming together to be a part of X-Men. This would take the X-Men franchise to a whole nother level that I don't think it's been at. And if you're attracting people like Javier Bardem, that means you're opening the door to something with much more meat on the bones and a much more, how can I say this, a much more complex story that you're going to tell in the world of the Marvel universe. You know, and that gets me excited. That tells me that we're going in the right direction, and they understand the importance of this team and the significance of this team and what they've been alluding to for years in the comics. You know,
I mean, I'm just gonna fucking put it out there. I don't even give a fuck anymore.
Go ahead.
Like at this point, we know Denzel is going to be coming to the MCU, right?
Yeah. Yes.
He's talked openly about this.
Yes, the Black Panther 3 avenue.
But we don't know who he is in Black Panther 3, right?
Right. We don't know yet. He hasn't said.
Totally possible that he could be playing an X-Men character in Black Panther 3, couldn't it?
Very possible. Yes.
You guys want to do the leap there? You guys want to do the math? I definitely think that Denzel could be the villain of X-Men.
So he could be Magneto. Is what you're saying, Denzel as Magneto.
I think that's a possibility.
I think that would be awesome. I think that would be amazing.
Jamie was like, I see Javier as more of a Magneto, but I was like, I kind of thought Denzel might be Magneto.
No, I think Denzel is a much more logical choice for Magneto. But you'd have to remove, right? You'd have to remove the Holocaust connotations. So would the connotations be more civil rights? Would it be more on the nose of what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to see the same story. I don't give a fuck about canon. I don't care about Magneto and the Holocaust. Give him a different backstory.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Make it interesting, right? That's what I want to see as a fan. I don't know what happened in the comics. If I wanted to know what happened in the comics, guess what? I'd fucking buy the comics.
Okay, so then the turn is, what do you say to fans who are going to be like, don't you race change my Magneto? Don't you change his origin from the Holocaust? Don't you make it DEI by making him black and be about civil rights and racism in this country? Okay. Don't do that. What do you say to that?
Don't care. Fuck him.
I agree. I don't give a shit either. As long as it's a good story, as long as it's a strong story, that's all I fucking care about. So if we go with Magneto as black, do you open the door to a possible Professor X who's black as well, or are you going with a white one?
See, Denzel was Professor X too. Couldn't you see him sitting in a chair all bald?
Yeah, so telling Scott what the fuck is up? Yes.
So I'm not saying he is Magneto. He may not be an X-Men. He may just be an African something in Black Panther 3, an African king or whatever.
Sure.
But I think he has to be considered to be in the realm of possibility.
I agree 100%. I would love to see this. All right. And do you have anything more that you're hearing about X-Men? Anything more on like direction, writing, anything overall? Stories, plot lines?
At this point, we're just doing a notebook dump, so why not? The guy who I'd heard that Marvel liked, again, had not heard specifically for Scott Summers or anything like that. Just had a meeting with Marvel, whatever went well. Was Tom Glynn Carney from House of the Dragon.
Oh, that's a great choice. Oh,
again, That's a guy who, if he rang the door right now,
yeah, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Would have no idea who he was.
So, right, but you read his words, or you've watched his words in action. So yeah, I would like that idea.
I don't watch the show.
Interesting situation. But it's weird how they're forming this team. Do you hear Do you hear anything about Wolverine?
Not a peep.
Not a peep. Okay.
I still think fucking Terran's right there.
Right. That's a great point.
I think he'd be great.
And what about Storm? Anything closer on Storm that you're hearing?
I mean, there's so much. Again, that's what's really nice is that 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I know people are always saying the talent was there, we would have struggled to have said, well, I don't know. But there's so many young, talented Black actresses. It could be anybody. If it's not Cynthia Erivo, I really like to see Keke Palmer.
Oh,
I'm a Keke Palmer fan. I think that's the best movie I've seen all year too. Is One of Them Days.
Oh my God, Keke as Storm.
Well, I don't know. I'm involved in someone's development team. Like, what am I doing?
My mind went to a minute. Yeah, what are you doing? Mine went to a million different places for sure. Well, should I say this? Should I break this? I got permission to break this today, Jeff. So I know. Do you want me to break this? I mean, I talked about it off mic.
This is notebook dump episode. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. So a few weeks ago, I told you guys how I had a friend who has sources and connections and told me about the Spider-Man 4 stuff, right? The Hulk Hogan ground-based fight. I'm the Hulk Hogan, Jesus Christ. Hulk and Punisher and Spider-Man. Well, that person reached out to me and also said to me that the big unspoken secret in Hollywood is that the X-Men movie is going to drop 2 to 3 months after Secret Wars. That's what they've heard. That's what they hear is the plan over at Marvel. Now, plans can change. There's things. I mean, it's still what 3 or 4 years away from this thing coming out, but that's what he's been hearing, and he's been a very strong source on other things. He is hooked up with the comic book community or the superhero community there in Hollywood, and he has said to me that is what he has heard behind the scenes.
All right, here's what I think about that, because I think that your source is mostly right. I think the timing is a little off. Okay, because 2 months, fucking Avengers Endgame is still in theaters after 8 weeks. That doesn't go to VOD after 17 days.
Okay,
so
maybe 3 to 6
then. 3 months. If that movie's coming out in May, you're 2 to 3 months. August. Yeah. I forget what month the original X-Men debuted. Let me actually look that up.
I think it was October. The first X-Men movie?
It could have been, yeah. Where's Scott Mance when you need him? It said premiered in Ellis Island July 12th, 2 days before a wide opening. So it was mid-July.
July 14th, 2000. Yes.
For me, this feels like Thanksgiving. This feels like the big November movie. So I buy 6 months, 2 to 3 months feels like a little too on top of it, but I do think you and I are basically saying the same thing, which is that this movie's going to be out in the second half of 2027.
The same year. Right. It'll come out as the same year as Secret Wars. Absolutely. Yeah.
We're both saying the second half of 2027.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So I think that will be interesting. So all these rumors are ramping up because Marvel is legitimately looking around, wanting to lock it down. And I think we are going to get some real legitimate, official announcements about casting here in the next few weeks as they start the process, because you've got to start having them show up in Secret Wars at some way. So you got to see if they're a team already. If you got to see if they got to do an origin story. What's the situation? So we got to see this at some point, right?
Yeah. And I'll be revealing all of it. Until I get an apology from the big man himself for that Robert Downey Jr. thing. That's the only thing that's going to end this. Marvel wants things to go back to normal. So otherwise, it's just notebook dump every time. I want a fucking call from Kevin.
Yeah. Oh wow. You and Rob Liefeld want a fucking call from Kevin.
Yeah. I can't wait to get into that story too. And let's talk about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's get into Fantastic Four.
And we're talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. The trailer dropped a few days ago, a couple days ago. I did a reaction for it, got up at 4 a.m., the sons of bitches, and then didn't even play the trailer till 5:15, so I was super pissed. But anyway, my reaction's up. We broke it down with the Geek Buddies. But Jeff, what did you think of this Fantastic Four trailer? It was about 1 minute, 37 seconds. Did it work for you? Did you like what it presented? Did you like the visuals? Did you like the performances? Your thoughts, Mike?
I thought it was weak.
Wow. Really?
Did you not?
No, I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. I got into the what is it? The era that they're going for here, seeing everybody using their powers except for Reed, seeing the time jump bridge there, that they want to go into interdimensional bridge, and then seeing the thing. I liked the way the thing looked. So you thought it was weak. Tell me why you thought it was weak.
I just don't know that I love the retro vibe.
Ah.
Someone pointed out to me, it's like it feels like it's just doing a live action cartoon. Like this feels like it's aimed at like young people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like the cast the way everybody looked didn't blow me away. Pedro specifically.
Really? Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Very thing heavy.
Yes, it was.
Do you like that?
I do. I don't have I like it better than that Michael Chiklis thing that we got from Tim Story. And the less said about the Jamie Bell version, the better. But so for me, it felt more connected to what I'd seen in the comics. I think you are right in terms of the approach they're taking, which is much more of a wholesome, innocent, younger in terms of what it's appealing to approach. But I think that's on purpose. Because when they bust out because if Galactus is going to destroy their world, and they essentially use the dimensional bridge to jump into the new universe there, the main universe 616, they'll be much different from the experience. Is she going to have the kid before they leave or after they leave? I don't know. So you're going to see them wholesome, but you're going to see what it affects and how it affects them. So it's a balance, Did you want it to be darker? Is that what your issue is in terms of the tone?
I mean, I did like the darkness of Trank's movie. I like that he kind of made it a little bit darker.
Really angsty, yes.
It wasn't, very good, but I like the elements that they had. Again, I'm keeping an open mind. You're just asking me to judge this trailer, and I was like, I mean, frankly, all the trailers for July, right? And we're going to talk about Jurassic.
Oh yeah.
Man, Fantastic Four. Give me the fucking Bloodlines trailer any day. Final Destination. That's a teaser where I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, you need to see this. You need to see this. Fantastic Four looks like another forgettable Marvel movie.
Wow. I think there's a confidence with that movie. They have a lot of confidence with that movie, Jeff, because having a whole event at a NASA Space Center, telling people the thing's going to drop at 4:00, but making them wait till 5:15, bringing out the cast to hit the button in the positions that they are in the comics to launch the trailer, it tells me that they have a lot of confidence with that movie, what Matt Shakman has done. And I think they're trying to power through Captain America Brave New World to get to Fantastic Four, because those clips they've released of Captain America 4 do not look good, do not look exciting. And that makes me very nervous for the film because I'm seeing it next week. I don't know if you are, but this is makes me nervous. And I think
I am excited for it. Again, I don't need fucking Galactus taking over the city. Give me something a little bit more grounded, which is what I think maybe Brave New World is going to be. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I just can't get on board with this. I like Shakman too. He's a good director. But there's something about this retro vibe, and I just don't know that people are going to go for this.
Did you watch WandaVision or did you not watch WandaVision? Okay, because that's Shakman, and that's what I would say. It progressively gets darker as the show goes along from the wholesome 1950s, 1960s beginning.
Well, that's why I bailed. I watched a few episodes of WandaVision. I bailed.
Yeah. The last few are a lot darker than the first few episodes. So, but we'll see what happens with that. And
but people don't know who anybody's playing, right?
What do you mean?
So what is the speculation about Malkovich?
That he's playing the Red Ghost, which is an old Russian foe.
He is, and Paul is Mole Man.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Paul Walter Hauser is Mole Man. And Natasha Lyonne is playing, oh my God, what's her name? Alicia Masters. Yeah. So are we going to get a voice for Herbie at all? Because there was no Herbie voice.
Right. Well, it seemed like they were maybe keeping it a secret there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe that's Denzel's role?
Maybe. Yeah, who is got a very recognizable voice.
What did you think of the Thing cooking? Like, is that on purpose for the Evan Moss Bacharach, the Bear connection? What do you think about that? You think it's a little too on the nose?
I love this idea. The Bear, this show gets better ratings than the Bear. What are you talking about? Nobody knows who that is. No one knows, like, oh, this is an inside joke for fans of the Bear that the Thing is really being voiced by Evan Moss Bacharach. No, that is not, has nothing to do with the Bear.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. Yeah, listen, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we got 720 of you joining us right now live as we're doing the show. One super chat. Are you guys insane? We are talking about stuff. We're dropping rumors. We're talking about the possibility of things, revealing things. We're giving you some news items, and you can't send in some super chats, some love and support. Come on, y'all. Send love and support here as we go along here on the channel. All right, you mentioned the Spider-Man stuff. What do you want to say about the Spider-Man stuff? What have you heard about the Spider-Man stuff? Jeff, what do you got?
Spider-Man?
You said Spider-Man before we jumped up.
No, I thought, did I? I didn't say Spider-Man.
Yeah, you said Spider-Man, but maybe you don't. All right.
I thought we were talking about Spider-Man, that you had something you wanted to talk about with Spider-Man.
No, because we already did talk about it a couple of weeks ago with Spider-Man and the ground-based fighting with Hulk rather, and Punisher. I already talked about that stuff. Well, what else with the Marvel universe do you want to touch? Shall we jump into the Rob Liefeld story, or is there anything else on the Marvel side you want to talk about? All right, so I don't have a visual for this. I'm sorry, guys, but so we'll just talk about it. But Rob Liefeld's on his podcast, I think it's called Robservations or something like that. He went into what he feels is the terrible treatment of Marvel, not only towards him as a creator, but other creators through the history of Feige being in charge of Marvel. He talked about how at the premiere, his family and him weren't invited to the after party for the premiere Deadpool and Wolverine. He talked about how they took pictures with his family, but then those pictures were deleted. He said he was on the red carpet with Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige couldn't even bother to say hello to him. And so this is a big thing. Now, by the way, this podcast became his most viewed and downloaded podcast ever in the history of his show. And he went all in on this situation, and he does have a comic book coming out very soon. So this might have been a selling books as well. But your thoughts here, Jeff? What do you think about Rob Liefeld going for Kevin Feige, and anything else I left out that he spoke about in this podcast?
First of all, a great story from Boris.
Yes.
I think, was it Boris or Aaron Couch, actually? I forget. Hold on. I want to give proper credit. This was a good story, though.
Aaron Couch. He wrote it in a THR. Yeah.
Aaron did a good job with this.
Oof.
It's tricky.
Right.
I think
that Rob is saying he's severing ties with Marvel. Just want to give that. Go ahead. So I want to give that.
He has some legitimate beefs, but I also think it's like a little petty. It's like, they had him to the premiere. They put him. They give him like the Liefeld's Just Feet cameo in the movie, which is very prominent. I mean, there are certain things that he wanted that you have to negotiate ahead of time, like your name in the opening credits. Like he, apparently they reference that Superman, the opening credits, right? Yeah, it's a very rare thing. And just like, I didn't get invited to the after, but first of all, that is shitty. Marvel, it's like, why do you even invite people to the premiere if they can't come to the after party? I don't really understand that.
Especially one of the creators of Deadpool, right?
Exactly.
Deadpool Wolverine movie, yes.
Yeah, don't treat him like the press. Don't treat him like me. He's the creator of Deadpool.
Yeah.
So a little bit of respect, but at the same time, it's just like, it felt like a little like sour grapes, and like, you already are Marvel's richest creator. This seems like such a petty slight. Like, is this really the venue to deal with this? I thought it was funny when he's, said like, he like put out emails too. He's putting out emails. He's throwing out receipts. I'm sure his reps are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But like when he said that his reps got screamed at, right? This isn't Fox.
We are not Fox.
We are not Fox. That is basically how Marvel is, right? They're like, we're Marvel, and like, you're going to fall, march to the beat of our drum.
Yeah.
And I think what you're starting to see now is a little bit of pushback.
Yeah.
Whether it's from press like me, or creators like Rob, or other people who are just sick of dealing with the shit, because you know what? You're not like untouchable anymore.
Right.
You put out some underwhelming movies lately. The winning streak is not necessarily continuing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. And it's just like with Weinstein and all that stuff. Is anytime there's weakness, that's when people are finally brave enough to push back. I think that's what you're starting to see a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. He said he started to feel unwelcomed during the London set visit for, I think it was Deadpool and Wolverine. And that he put that in contrast with how he felt on Deadpool and Deadpool 2, which were made by Fox. He said they had me along for the ride and I caused zero drama. I was happy to be there. And he said, Kevin Feige does not treat comic book creators well. That is my personal experience. And he tells THR, do I think he can improve his relationship with comic creators? Yes. And he says he wishes Feige would have spent a few moments to chat with him and his family at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. But Feige also, as the article points out so well, Aaron Couch says here that Feige does name drop the creators at Comic-Con and places where people would know the names of the creators of these comic book characters that he's using. And so, you know, it's a premiere. You're Kevin Feige. Everybody wants your ear. And, like, you know, Rob Liefeld, and let me tell you something. And listen, let me tell you my personal experience of Rob Liefeld on Collider Heroes when I was producing the show. Rob was very sweet to me, very kind to me. His manager was a good guy. Five chicken fingers short of a heart attack, but a good guy. But Rob himself, you've got to kiss Rob's ass. Rob likes the stroke. Rob likes the patting of the stomach and the rubbing of the back and the stroking of the hair. He likes to feel important. Now, that being said, I never had an issue with it because Rob was never like a pouty guy on the set with us.
He's a good interview.
We understood that's what he wanted, so we made it clear. You know, Coy's going to fawn all over a creator. So Coy was great to do that with Rob, and Rob felt really loved by that. Rob was very good at Collider. Would come on with it. So I had a good experience with Rob Life. I got nothing negative to say about him, but I do know that Rob likes to feel respected, and so you've got to understand that going in. It's surprising to me that Marvel and Feige and the Disney people would not know this about him going into this Deadpool and Wolverine situation and make sure he is taken care of. So this may be more what you said, Jeff, is that maybe they're just fucking done with it. And Marvel's going to do whatever they want to do now. They just changed over publicity people. I think they changed over marketing people. So the people who are there now who understood how these people want to be treated, those maybe aren't the people there now. And so you're seeing situations like this, you know,
all talent wants to be treated that way. And I guess Rob should have understood, like, yeah, Feige's doing that for everybody there.
Yes.
He's talking to everybody's you know, I mean,
right.
It's like, I understand where Rob is coming from. Like, what am I, chopped liver? Like, I'm the whole fucking reason you guys are here.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's like, he didn't take a picture with or, you know, like the picture that we took wasn't put up on the Getty site or.
Yeah. Or it's deleted. Yeah.
These are like not beefs to go public with and to torch your whole relationship with Marvel over.
Yeah,
like,
I don't understand what the end goal is. I agree with you. I don't understand what the end goal is here because Deadpool has arguably never been more popular, making $1.5 billion at the movie theater, Deadpool and Wolverine. They're clearly going to do more Deadpool movies. What is the angle here that you're going for? Are you upset maybe in some jealous way that Ryan Reynolds is more synonymous with Deadpool now than Rob Liefeld? Is there a little bit of, because in the article it says that he wanted them to give him credit like 1978 Superman, where it said on the screen from creator Rob Liefeld, Deadpool and Wolverine. He wanted that kind of credit. So I think this is a little bit of Rob's ego in that Rob is seeing other people connected to Deadpool, and he is one of the creators of Deadpool, the main creator of Deadpool.
What do you think is the timing of this?
Yes, right?
This all happened over the summer, and we're just thinking about it now.
Yeah.
Is there anything that's happening in the news right now that may indicate some weakness and some vulnerability?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, right. With Ryan and whatever. Yeah, and Marvel as well. That's a good point,
guys. After 20 years in this fucking business, that's all I've learned how to do is connect the dots. I'm going to tell you the story.
Go ahead.
Last night I ran that hot rumor of Steven Yeun joining Ben Affleck's Animals. Okay. This is called connecting the dots.
Yeah.
I held that story last year that Steven Yeun was going to join Animals.
Yeah.
It's going to be him, Matt Damon, Jen Garner. Matt Damon's out. Jen Garner's out. So I don't know if Steven Yeun's coming back.
Right.
So I asked yesterday. We got a new iteration of the project. Ben, Gillian Anderson. Is Steven still involved? Is he still interested in this? No comment, no confirmation, no denial. We're not touching this. Goodbye.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking up Steven Yeun's credits. They snuck him into R.I.P., the Joe Carnahan movie.
Wow.
He didn't get a fucking casting announcement for that in the trades.
Right.
He was photographed on set a couple months into shooting. So it's like, okay, they're sneaking this guy into RIP. No one's giving me a fucking, when all they have to do is say, no, he's not in it. You know, his schedule, everything's changed because it's, you know, a year later. But yeah, nobody said that. And so it's just about connecting dots and then just deciding to run shit because I'm tired of waiting for confirmations. I'm waiting on a casting. I have a casting scoop for tonight.
Oh,
I asked everybody politely.
Yes.
For the actor, publicist for the studio. Nobody wants to fucking answer. I know there's a fucking, it's just, you're going to get it tonight because I can't trust anybody to get back to me tomorrow before the trades. And if this is the game they want to play, we'll play it the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah, I mean, you got to say with Rob, like, there is a book coming out here in a few days. So is this promotion for himself? Is he going into business for himself? Do you think this is, do you think he says he sent emails that didn't get returned, no responses. So is this him going public to force Feige to deal with this stuff?
Listen, I see these people, they move in and out of these chairs, right? It doesn't mean anything to them, right? Working for Disney. They work for Disney for a couple years, they move on to Universal.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all about the paycheck. I will always be the Sneider. Rob Liefeld will always be the creator of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige will not always be the head of Marvel.
It's true. It's true.
Think about that next time, Marvel. Because I'm not going anywhere, neither's Rob Liefeld.
It's a fair point. Yeah. So anything more to say about this, or shall we move on?
I think everybody just needs to respect each other better.
Here you go. Very well said. Very magnanimous of you, sir. I appreciate you saying that. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, let's move on to the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer, Jeff. Let's talk about that. Now that we leave the world of Marvel, maybe we'll swing back if things pop up. If you guys ask a question or send in a question you want us to talk about from the Marvel side that we haven't talked about yet. But let's move on to this. Scarlett Johansson, Gareth Edwards, director, David Koepp, writing, coming back to write this. Jonathan Bailey, Rupert Friend, Mahershala Ali. Bro, this was a disappointing trailer on so many levels. What did you think? You're probably a bigger Jurassic Park fan than me. What did you think of this trailer?
I thought it was weak.
Yeah.
I thought it just had nothing was different. It's the same fucking movie we've gotten the last 5 fucking movies.
Yeah.
Just Scarlett Johansson, I do think she is a good actress, but man, she just felt like a robot here.
Bro, I said that in my reaction. I said Scarlett is a good actress, but sometimes when Scarlett tries to act tough, it doesn't, you see some cracks. She's not naturally that way. It doesn't feel like, as opposed to Charlize. When Charlize plays tough, you buy it, right? But with Scarlett, there are cracks when she tries to be a no-nonsense kind of person who's doing these missions her whole life, and her
We're the best in the world at getting people in and out of places.
Yeah.
I don't know that I buy that from you, Zora or Nora or whatever. Sorry.
But also, it just didn't seem to have any kind of magic or epicness to it. I said this in my reaction. I said it felt like an episode of the Jurassic World show. It felt like an episode of the series rather than a movie. This is such a small idea for such a massive franchise. It's always delivered like these epically huge movies that I don't understand the logic here, you know?
I know one of my buddies is watching this who's connected, and we had the same discussion about the Jurassic trailer. I was like,
yeah,
I want to bring it up here.
Okay. All right.
Literally, I'm quoting from it, John. To me, there's no sense of magic or wonder.
Yeah, 100%.
And maybe it's because when we were kids, there was no amazing dinosaur movie. This was the first one. Jurassic Park. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs on the big screen. And now kids just don't get that same sense of wonder because we've seen it 6 times before.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's almost heartbreaking. I thought the music was bad.
Yes.
The story made no sense.
Yeah.
We need to harvest the DNA from 3 specific species of dinosaur.
And they happen to be the 3 ones that were rejected by the original park because they were too dangerous.
They can't help themselves with the kids in these movies.
Yeah.
It's something.
I also think the cast wasn't that exciting. I had someone respond to me on my reaction like, "Oh, do you think people went to the theater for Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern?" Yeah, I think that's an element of it, along with Steven Spielberg. I mean, Laura Dern had been making her name through the 80s. Jeff Goldblum was very well known through the 80s, and Sam Neill had gotten known through the 80s. So we're going into the 90s with Jurassic Park, and you're having this CG, you're having Spielberg directed. I think there was a majesty and a wonder to it that was incredible. Plus, Michael Crichton was on a high, and he was riding high with his books. So that it appealed to all these different sections of the world at the time. Now you come along, you give me Scarlett, you give me Jonathan Bailey, you give me Mahershala, which I thought Mahershala was the best part of the trailer, and then you give me Rupert Friend, and I'm like, am I invested in this? And listen, I'm not part of the Jonathan Bailey fan club. No offense, didn't think he was that great in Wicked. I thought it was milquetoast boring in this trailer, and so I don't know. I know some of you love him from other shows. I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it, man.
I think they should be nervous. And who would have thought? Who would have thought Superman, after all that shit that we gave this trailer, how much shit had got on the internet? Definitely the best trailer of these July movies, I think.
100%. All these people are making memes of like Jurassic World and Fantastic Four beating up Superman. Don't be surprised if Superman is standing out by the end of its run over both Fantastic Four and Jurassic World.
I mean, I don't think Jurassic World's going to make $1 billion.
You don't. This one
steadily descending, right? From one, I think the first one, Jurassic World, did 1.5, and the last one wound up maybe a little bit over $1 billion. But
1.1.
I don't think this one cracks $1 billion.
Yeah, I don't think so either. If this one sinks and doesn't do well and isn't received well by the critics, what the fuck is the next option for this franchise?
I'll tell you what it is. It's called Cloverfield. Okay, give me a movie with 1 dinosaur. I don't need 8,000 fucking dinosaurs and new breeds that get bigger and bigger that don't even look like fucking dinosaurs anymore. Give me 1 dinosaur. Make it interesting. Make it E.T. with a dinosaur. Make it could be anything.
So you think found movie footage with 1 dinosaur chasing them down?
It doesn't have to be found footage, and it doesn't have to.
Okay.
I'm just saying all you need to be part of a Jurassic franchise is a dinosaur. You don't need 2 dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Tell us just a regular story.
Right.
It's like it's the Jurassic Park, the gates come down and all the fucking dinosaurs go over to here and there's a fucking rampage. You can make a movie about that. They've made that 6 times.
Yeah.
But what if one of the dinosaurs goes this way? In the woods. I don't want to fight. I don't want to rampage through streets. I want to go to North Carolina and hide in the woods and become a fucking local legend, creature, mythic thing that one day some boy stumbles upon and then tries to keep it as a pet, and then things get, just like Pete's Dragon, but with a dinosaur.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
It's different. It's something.
Yeah. But where do we put Gareth Edwards now? I mean, if this comes out and it is underperforming or isn't that well liked, the creator underperformed. There's a lot of noise that Tony Gilroy took over Rogue One and saved that movie from Gareth Edwards' original cut. There are some people that don't like his Godzilla. I never saw his Monsters movie with Scoot McNairy, but I should see it at some point. But if this one comes out at some point, how many more bites of the apple does Gareth Edwards get if the end results are not successful?
I mean, listen, it's a fucking Jurassic movie. It's gonna make money. It's not gonna flop.
Yeah, sure, but the last one made money, and they wanted to change everything because it wasn't well received by the critics.
I don't think this one will be well received. He's not a name brand filmmaker, Gareth Edwards. Half the people out there prefer Gareth Evans. He's not even the best Gareth E. Okay, so and it sucks to even make that comparison based on the name, but forgive me.
Sure.
He's a talented guy, and he's going to continue to work, but he's not the next Spielberg.
Yeah, to me, he's like a coordinator who tries to be a head coach, but isn't good at head coaching. Like, I think he's good at the visual cinematography, maybe, all that kind of stuff.
Last movie with John David Washington looked great, The
creator looked great, but the film itself was kind of boring and a bit of a flop.
Our filmmaker. He's a middle of the road Ratner.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Ratner never.
That's fair.
To me, Ratner never really made a bad movie, except maybe one of the last ones.
Yeah.
But, like,
Last Stand was pretty bad.
Never made a great movie.
Yeah. I guess not. You don't think the Rush Hour films are great films? None of them?
No, I think they're good.
What about Red Dragon? No,
the first one's good. I like Red Dragon, but
yeah.
That's just Manhunter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I like Family Man. I think Ratner got a lot of shit that he didn't deserve.
I think Ratner is more solid than Gareth Edwards is, but I agree with you on that. But
more
I also think
solid, but not as talented.
Not as talented. No, I think Gareth has a better eye.
More consistent.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so there we go. There's that trailer. Any other trailer you want to talk about before we move on? I think there was one more you threw in here. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Hurry Up Tomorrow. What is that?
Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weekend with Jenna Ortega. That's a crazy trailer.
Really? Okay, I'll have to watch it. Yeah, it's The Weekend. I know.
I mean, it has the same aesthetic as The Idol and all that.
Of course.
Which is like, sign me the fuck up, but it looked crazy.
I think
it is like, it's supposed to be like Misery.
Yeah. Oh, really? For what? Is he a star? Is he a
the fan?
Oh,
I think that's interesting.
All right. Fair point.
And again, that Final Destination trailer, amazing.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on from that. Oh yeah, Final Destination trailer. Let's talk. I did react to that. I love that series, Jeff. You know, you've given me shit for not liking all the horror stuff, but Final Destination is one of those series that I thoroughly fucking love. Stays with me. I don't dive through open elevators. I don't ride behind trucks with freshly cut wood. Yeah. I don't get on planes. I don't go near fences that have barbed wire on it. I stay away from these areas because of Final Destination.
I didn't hang out with Devon Sawa.
Exactly. There you go. But this was an awesome teaser trailer. Just totally inside one tattoo parlor, and it gets progressively worse, and you see it coming. And the way it ends, you're like, oh, fuck yeah, man. I can't wait to see this. So I'm excited. Did it scratch your itch to make you see that maybe they got the right equation here to come back?
That's the whole point of a teaser trailer, right? It's a little bit of foreplay. It's a little bit of let's get things a little wet, a little ready. and that's what it is. It keeps teasing you, right? Oh, that fucking those fan blades and everything.
The fucking chain hanging right by the fan blades.
Yeah. That'll look great. Those guys are talented. The guys who did Freaks.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Lipovsky.
The whole time I was like, oh my God, what a decision. Either get your nose ripped off or get burned to death. Oh no, both. You're going to get both.
You know what that's going to do? That's going to do Saw numbers.
Oh, probably.
That's going to be big, I think. And that's why it has the May release date.
I think that's a franchise that was unfortunately ended because a couple of bad last installments, but there is so much to explore in a film about death. And this is apparently a generational thing where like the grandmother survived some death and now death is coming for all her family members. And that is insane because we're talking about generational trauma. Nowadays, mainstream people talk about it all the time. So to use that as like an undercurrent of the horror thing is genius, dude.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it will deliver. Hopefully that scene that we saw doesn't just prove to be the highway scene from Final Destination 2. That's kind of all you remember from Final Destination 2 is that opening scene. Let's hope we didn't just see that in a trailer.
Right. Other great kill, sitting in the drive-thru as that thing is coming down the mountain. Oh, that was an awesome.
The roller coaster thing always freaks me out. I'm always like, this roller coaster could just go right off into the fucking air.
I forgot about that. That's right. The roller coaster was great. Shit, I may have to do a rewatch of those. Let's see here. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the Oscars, man. We got to talk about this, Jeff. You are the co-host. Okay, go ahead.
What we do? I do want to back up.
Okay, go ahead. What's up?
Nate Moore came out, right?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. Yes, there's the T'Challa situation. One of the producers on the Black Panther franchise, he said that he said that T'Challa is not being recast, and don't believe everything you read on the internet. So Jeff, take it away.
Okay. Well, T'Challa, he's playing semantics. T'Challa is being cast. It's T'Challa 2. Forgive me. There's going to be a new Black Panther. It's going to be a young black guy. They're bringing back the character, okay? T'Challa 2, I mean, give me a fucking break. Black Panther's coming back. It's not going to be fucking Shuri anymore.
Right.
Nate Moore is like, I love this too, where it's like, we're definitely not doing, that's not true. Never say never, but that's not true. Well, is it not true or should I never say never? Right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Let's have the conversation. Let's be fucking about this. This is one of pop culture's iconic characters.
Yes.
In a terrible, tragic thing happened. The actor who played him is gone.
Yes.
Very sorry about that. Do we just put this fucking iconic character in the locker for the rest of our lives?
Yeah, no.
We don't see him anymore because they cast a guy who died prematurely?
Yeah.
This is insane. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Now I understand maybe too soon, and maybe this is Black Panther 3. Look what we already dealt with in Black Panther 2, whatever. But it's just like, Nate Moore, do you even work there even anymore? You're the executive producer of Black Panther 3. You and the reason that you have that credit, by the way, is because Ryan would not come back, unless you were involved. So if you weren't going to be the executive, you were still going to be involved as the executive producer.
Right.
Nate Moore's entitled to say whatever he wants. I understand why he would want to correct it.
Yeah.
I understand if I got it wrong or if my source characterized it differently. But yeah, they're casting a young black guy as Black Panther, and they offered it to a young black actor who turned it down.
There you go. So, and this is where Nate could have delivered a much more nuanced response. But this idea these creators have of like, don't believe everything you read on the internet, as if some reporters,
as if we should believe everything that they say, John, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Like, these creators push to the fans and to these websites who are like, come talk to us. They do that kind of shit because they know that the majority of the fans are going to go where the creators, because they're zombies, and let's go where the creators tell them what to do. Most people like us, or some people like us, are the ones who are like, wait a minute, let's break this thing down. What's the actual truth? And so, yes, he could have said, very easily could have said, we are not bringing back the character of T'Challa. However, there will be a new Black Panther. We will make that certainly a focus of what we're doing going forward. No, we're not recasting. Don't believe everything. And so it's an effort to destroy journalists and reporters.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's fucking gaslighting. Don't believe this Jeff Sneider guy. Don't believe everything you fucking read. Yep. They want to destroy me. And if that's the way they want to play it, we'll see who wins this war.
Yeah, and I do want to say this because
nothing to lose.
Yeah, right, exactly. You'll start exposing stuff. Like I love big screen leaks. I got nothing negative to say about big screen leaks. We follow each other on the social media, but I really think people need to take a break about retweeting or quoting you or mentioning your name on the and coming after you, because like big screen leaks break shit. You break shit. And so what are we going to jump on big screen leaks if he breaks shit and it isn't right? And we go, see, I bet big screen leaks is crying now. You don't want to do that stuff. I don't understand the logic of it all. You know what I'm saying? And to me, this gets frustrating when I see it on the internet. I can't always jump in and do that because I think that's your battles to fight. But I do think it's frustrating for me, who co-hosts a show with you, when I see people do that, because all scoopers make mistakes. All scoopers aren't necessarily right. And all journalists, sometimes the creatives lie or change things around to make you look foolish, So I just want to stop that shit.
I mean, people just don't understand journalism anymore. I mean, I read a whole article about it, about how literally people don't know what a journalist does anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
They think that I work for the studios or something like that.
Right.
So there's just a fundamental misconception of the entire process.
Yeah,
I think the only thing that matters to me is that people understand at this point, a year and a half in roughly, is that I'm not here to dupe anybody. I'm not here to bilk you guys out of your money. because I can't get hired by a trade anymore. All I need are 10, 12 people in this town to feed me information, and I'll work for the next 30 fucking years.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'll work independently.
Yeah. And not even the same 10 to 12 people, because it always changes every few years.
I just tell you what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
If I trust a company enough or a publicist enough or an agency enough to double check it, I will. I always will.
Yeah. Yeah.
It made that call today with the casting you'll read about tonight. But
and that's what I want to clear. That's what the difference is with people who watch this show. Like Jeff is, as opposed to a lot of these insiders who are sitting on the internet.
Or no face. Who are they?
Yeah,
Daniel Rickman's not a real person.
They're not the ones like setting up lunches with executives or with agents or meeting with assistants or talking with actors, having actors DM them as you get like, and I've seen those. Like there's these things that are the difference between someone who is breaking stuff through a phantom account on the internet with literally who lives in Kansas versus someone who actually lives in the city, has connections with people in the studios, and works those connections, fosters those connections, makes the effort to create the connections.
Grid journalism.
Yeah.
These people just come, they do grid journalism, and I know because I did grid journalism.
Yeah.
That's what I fucking did.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a grid in years.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers to the test anymore.
Right.
I go get the fucking answers. I go steal them from the fucking principal's office. They hand out the fucking test. Okay. So
yeah,
it's just it's crazy to me the way I get lumped in with these people because I don't have a Variety or a Hollywood Reporter to my name where everything becomes reportedly. Yeah. And I'm just part of like these scoopers. Well, these other scoopers didn't work at the trades for 10 years.
Right.
Daniel Rickman didn't work at Variety or the Rap for 10 years. All due respect to Daniel.
Right.
Does good work and gets stuff right, just like My Time to Shine and all these other people.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's also about I can make anything true if I phrase it the right way.
Right.
That is the skill that I have as a writer.
Right.
You don't want to call me a reporter? Fine. Call me a blogger. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't care anymore.
Right.
I care about feeding myself and being right. And I think if you look at the track record the last year, you can see how many things are right.
Yeah. Well, and this is the frustration. I see Owen put this up because you are not wrong, but a little more humility wouldn't hurt you. LOL.
I don't give a fuck about humility.
Well, that's the thing I want to say. The people who aren't working jobs like this, who aren't near the top of their game, they're the ones that are like, well, you need to be more humble. You need to be more of this or that. And it's like, you don't understand. I mean, Jordan wasn't humble. Kobe wasn't humble. These are not you don't achieve success mostly by being humble. You achieve success by believing in yourself, making loud noise. Look at Rob Liefeld. We just talked about it. What's he doing? Doing a whole podcast tearing down Kevin Feige and Marvel. It's to get the attention. These are these things that you do. So humility is, I think you should absolutely try to be humble, sure, but like you don't have to be humble.
I tried. It got me nowhere.
Yeah.
Got me nowhere.
Right. Yeah. No.
I'll be the Nick. If this town needs a Nicky Fink, I will step up and be the Fink they fucking need.
There you go. All right. Abraham humility is the road to humiliation.
It's the only thing these people respect is fear. See, and I will put the fear of God into them.
Right, but here's the stupidity. This is the thing I have to deal with all the time. He just compared Jeff to Kobe. Look at this. The guy's 12 years old in this picture. I did not compare Jeff to Kobe. You fucking moron.
Kobe. I compare myself to it.
I said that people that succeed in life have ego. Kobe had an ego. I'm not saying Jeff's on Kobe's level, you moron. I'm saying people who succeed in life have egos. They have big egos, okay? That's is what runs it, especially in Hollywood. Your favorite person who you love so much, guess what? They have an ego. In our business of punditry, the people that you love, someone who smile all the time and tell you how much they love these characters, they have an ego behind the scenes of wanting to succeed, wanting to be where they're at. They bitch to all their friends about it. It's ego, man. Yes. Even the smiliest of the smiley ones that you think is so sweet has an ego like crazy, male or female, in the business. So always learn that. It's the truth, you know? Ugh, it's just so frustrating. All right, anyway.
Good at what I do. I go back to Massachusetts with my tail between my legs and go work in the candy business and make a living 5 times greater than I do now.
Hey, I like the candy business. Speaking of sweets, now can we move on to the Oscars? Shall we move on to the Oscars? We're by the way, we're almost an hour into the show. We've got 850 people watching us live.
Good. I hope everyone's tweeting Jeff Sneider's having a meltdown on this episode.
I think you're being very level-headed. I'll be honest with you. I've seen you have the meltdown. This is more level-headed. I just hope that the 850 of you who are watching right now are subscribing to Jeff's newsletter at theinsnider.com, and that you're subscribing to the channel down below and hitting that bell button. And hopefully you're sending in some love with your Streamlabs and Super Chats as we go on.
That there's another fucking podcast on this whole fucking planet as good as this one about Hollywood and the business of entertainment is insane. I listen to the most listened to podcast that everyone is going to say, I listen to this show. Guess what? It's full of nonsense and garbage. I can't help but listen to it, but it's full of absolute asinine opinions, and you all know what I'm talking about.
I don't, because I only listen to our show, but that's fair. Let's move on to the Oscars, Jeff. As I said, you are the co-host of FYC. Certainly this week, a lot of stuff going on with Karla Sofia Gascon. Netflix has abandoned her and said that she will now have to fund her own way to go to any of these awards, shows, or presentations. She is out for the Critics' Choice, Directors Guild, Producers Guild, all of this stuff. They have moved her off the promotional material for Emilia Perez. It is now Zoe Saldana, who's very huge, or faces very hugely the point of it. Jacques Audiard gave an interview to Deadline and completely said that Karla is in this self-destructive cycle and I can't help her and I don't want to help her. I'm leaving her alone. And now the Oscars said that they are not going to do the 5 people walking out to present each of the nominees in the acting categories and give like a 30 to 45 second speech about them. They're going to stop it. And they're claiming that they was never in their plans to do it for the acting. It was only for the directors. That
is the single craziest fucking thing I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't even know how long, John. That was the thing that was most infuriating to me. I think it broke on Tuesday when I was sick. This was just the trades carrying water for the Academy. They're telling me that the Academy officially announced like a month ago or whatever that they're going to be bringing back the Fab Five.
Yeah.
Then all this Karla stuff happens, and they say, actually, we're bringing back the Fab Five, but not for the acting categories. What are we going to do? Bring out 5 of your favorite production designers? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Of course they were doing this, and the second that it fucking happened, they're like, shit, no one's going to want to give the fucking thing for Karla. We have to scrap it for everybody.
Yeah. That's 100% what happened.
100%.
I don't care what they put out in the trades. That is 100% what happened. A lot of people, they were announcing that. They didn't go, and they didn't even, when they said they were going to do it, they didn't go, well, we're going to do it, but not for the acting. They said it across the board. They implied it was across the board. And only now are they like, well, no, we didn't mean the acting, which arguably is really, if you were going to cut everything else and keep the acting, that's where it would work the most. So the fact that you would have 5 other people come out, as you said, for production designer or costuming, or nobody who watches these shows, I mean, not nobody, but like a small percentage would know who they are. They all know the actors. They all know those people. Maybe the directors is on the same level, but actors is really the number one.
I'm so sick of the way this town and the people in it operate. They're fucking disgusting, John. I'm sorry. Most of them, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Most people. I mean, the way, Karla Sofia Gascon, no one's condoning these tweets.
No, they're horrible tweets.
But just the way everyone has just thrown her under their bus to protect their own interests. I mean, Netflix doesn't even put the title of the movie in its ads anymore because the title of the movie is the name of her character.
Yes.
And you will think of the character, and then you will think of her, and then you will think this movie is raised. Like, is this the thinking? Is this where we are as a fucking society? What is wrong with us?
No, I was very surprised by these decisions by Netflix. Stand behind it. But this is also Karla. Karla went into business for herself, Jeff, when she did that interview.
Well, welcome to the club, honey. Yeah, you got to pay for your own hair and makeup and your own transportation to these award shows. Guess what? So do I. Yeah. No, Variety's not fucking paying for my valet parking or me to go get a fucking suit jacket.
Right. But
so tired of me, so entitled.
I hear you. And I do want to say this on the other side. The audacity, and dare I say the European caucasity of Jacques Audiard to go on to this interview with Deadline with Mike Fleming Jr. and essentially imply in his answer about the pushback to his movie that anybody who's having a feeling about the movie that is not positive is either A, doesn't understand the film, or B, hasn't seen it and they're saying they don't like it in bad faith. This is asinine horseshit. And it's so, and then when they asked him about the Spanish thing, he did some dance around, oh, I love Spanish language. They're my favorite people. My best friend's Spanish. You know, all this nonsense instead of owning up to what he fucking said and what he meant by what he said, which was that French arrogance about people from other migrants from other countries and whatever. So the fact that he is getting a free pass, but they're coming for Karla, I think he should get a little bit of shit too. So it's frustrating to me that they're not bashing him too.
He got his and he survived the cycle. I mean,
yeah, right. Because
I can't. Plus, he's had this long career where it's like he's worked so hard to get to this point. I'm not like blaming him and Zoe Saldana for distancing themselves. I think that's only natural. But to like, you know, pretend like I don't even know like this person. Like we haven't even spoken. It's like you can't. You've been going to every event for the last few months with this person, sitting with them at tables, eating meals. Now you can't even call them and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, it's so fucked up over like what? Some tweets? Has she done anything racist? Did she do anything to anybody? Or was it just that people were offended by her words on a fucking social media platform that no one followed her on until some fucking Muslim journalist basically exposed her and blew up her whole world?
Yeah, she did. Because she,
was in a very loose term there.
Yeah, well, she was also saying that she did it because of the way that Karla was presenting herself. She had questions about it. She wanted to explore it, and so she unearthed those
terrible things about Muslims, Hitler, blacks. I mean, there's no question that these things are crazy and out of line. Right. But it's also a cry for help. And it's not like, I mean, people would, I'm sure, love to see her kill herself, and that's fucking crazy.
Ooh, that's horrible.
That's how people, that's the equivalent, John. Even if it's not, I want you to kill yourself or I wish you were dead, it's a social death.
Yeah.
That they wish and cast upon these people. And I think it's nuts. I think and that's why Trump is in office, because the left, and I'm a member of the left has lost its mind. It's just crazy. It's crazy what's going on. It's also crazy what's going on the other side with this dope shit and these fucking 22-year-olds are running the country. I don't know what's going on anymore, John. I don't know the world. I don't recognize the world that I grew up in. Everyone has lost their fucking minds.
I agree. And where did that stem from? Cutting education, not focusing on education in this country, and you have both sides who are now more prone to believe conspiracy theories. They're more prone to dig their heels in because they're afraid to talk to the other side, and it blows shit up. And that's exactly what both sides were invested in creating. And now we have the end result of our society the way it is now, with a lot of uneducated people thinking they know a lot about shit they have no fucking concept about, speaking about it, and then pushing us farther and farther apart as the wars rage on. Because you're right, the left one's gone too far. The right is investing in fascism. It's crazy right now. Yeah.
And the word, but to me, again, the huge problem is just the rich protecting the rich.
Yes, 100%.
And that includes the trade writers protecting the fucking executives and agents and things like that. That's
a great point.
And the academy. Yeah. I mean, can't we just be honest? Am I the last guy left with the last two guys left?
Yeah.
Are we the last two with the balls to say things like they are, to report what we are seeing with our fucking eyes?
Yeah. Well, because the truth is, we're not invested in trying to land a director to be interviewed on the show or an actor to be interviewed on the show. We are not appearing in comic books. We're not trying to get ourselves out there and be in novels or be in like, that's not our goal. We don't want to get like, we just want to be the place where you go, where you will hear us tell what we think is the truth of what's going on in Hollywood and what's actually going on behind the scenes through well-sourced conversations, mostly Jeff with his well-sourced conversations of people that he knows in the business. And so we're not coming to you we're just making this up out of thin air. It's actually people we've spoken to who work in the business. That's where we're getting our points of views and our opinions on and our information from. And that's the difference there. And so, yeah, too many people in the entertainment punditry sphere are invested in not upsetting the studios, not upsetting the actors, not upsetting the directors, not upsetting the producers. So it's a constant kiss-ass society, as opposed to, hey, we want to talk to you about this. Even the interview that he did with Jacques Audiard, Mike Fleming Jr.'s final question was, was kissing Jacques Audiard's ass. What's it been like to experience? Are you doing better now? Like, it's what? Why are you asking that question?
You have
why
to
are you softening?
Again,
yeah.
I recognize, having been a trade reporter, right, that you have to play the game a little bit, right? You have to make compromises. I told you earlier this episode, I held that Stephen Yen story.
Yeah.
Why did I do it? Because it got me somewhere else.
Right.
Okay. It got me another story for my readers. That's what I do. I'm always thinking of the readers.
Yep.
What sacrifices do I have to make it up to them, or things that I have to break to make it up to them because of the sacrifice? All that kind of shit. It's a balance. What? So I'm not going to blame Fleming for asking that question.
Right.
Now, that was actually a decent piece that he did. And I don't blame everyone going into crisis mode here on these Karla tweets and trying to salvage what is left of their awards chances.
Yeah.
I just don't think that it should matter. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Not the message, it's the way it's being received. It shouldn't matter. You're not voting on best tweets or best person. You're voting on who directed the best movie of the year. Who gave the best performance? And I'm just so tired of all this other shit mattering. It shouldn't matter, okay, that I'm a fucking asshole when I want to be.
Yeah.
I'm a great reporter. And if you don't want me on your staff, you'll have a worse staff. and a nicer, happier, shinier staff that doesn't break as many fucking scoops as I do. And what are people paying for? Those smiles behind the scenes or the fucking information I provide in my newsletter?
Yeah. That's the difference. I mean, listen, I bet we could get Karla to come on the hot mic and talk about the situation. That could be a lot of fun.
Bring it on.
Karla.
Jeez, welcome here, whereas all the other trades would be like, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I'll do it in Spanish and English, Karla. Let's do it. I mean, I would love to have her on. Let's have a conversation about the situation.
What's next? What stories we got?
Okay. One last thing to finish up the Oscars. Do you think she's going to show up to the ceremony? What's your feeling now?
Yes.
You do?
Of course.
Okay.
If she needs a date, let me know. Karla, I will be your date to the ceremony. I'm offering publicly right now. I will wear a tuxedo.
Plus one.
Shave, however you want to see me, honey.
Wow. That's
Why? Well, are you insane? She earns an Oscar nomination, gives the performance of her career. You think, no, I'm not going to go. I made some bad tweets about it.
She's not going to all these other things. That's why I ask.
You know why, John?
Why?
None of those other things fucking matter.
As much as the Oscars. That's
nope,
fair.
Not the Goya Awards, not the fucking CCAs, not the fucking DGAs or the PGAs. Only one show matters. It's what I've been saying my whole career. I've been pretty consistent about that.
Yeah, you are.
Nothing matters except for the Oscars.
That's fair. Rachel says Will Smith should be her date. Yeah, I mean, I think you can get away with that one. I think
one more Marvel story.
Go ahead, man.
That Jonathan Majors stuff, Johnny.
Yeah, let's talk. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Rumors coming out that Jonathan Majors might come back. Do you think it's bullshit?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my source said that it was Iger who got rid of Majors, and Iger hasn't changed his mind.
You turn the page.
Yeah.
There's no turning the page back. You turned it. The chapter's done. It's over.
Yeah. Look, we're an hour and 10 minutes into the show. There's still other stuff you want to talk about. We got a lot of questions. So what do you want to do? You want to run through these stories real quick, and then we'll just one word answer or one sentence answers? Or should we jump on the good? Or do you want to stay extra? It's up to you, man.
Now let's take some questions.
All right. One last question. One last topic. The Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Can we talk about this, Jeff? I know people like this show, and I get it. People love this show. It was a seminal part of their upbringing in the 90s. But when did Buffy the Vampire Slayer become the godfather, for fuck's sake? And it's got to be, I'm not doing this unless it's 100% right. We respect it. What are we talking about, dude? It was a show on what was it, on the CW or the Warner Brothers? Or on
when you're Sarah Michelle Gellar, it is. You talk about Buffy as if it was,
I guess,
which was your godfather. This is the greatest things will ever be.
Give me a break, man.
Yeah, I liked the original movie. But I did not watch Buffy the show. I mean, I was in high school and college, and
Christy Swanson, right? The original movie was Christy Swanson, I think, wasn't it? Who was the Buffy? Yeah.
I had a gay roommate at NYU who watched Buffy every night. Yeah. It just wasn't for me, that show. I didn't like the silly creatures, and I thought everything looked kind of goofy and cheap. And I'm not a Whedon guy.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Now, he won't be back for this, although I love that everyone's like, he's not involved. Don't you worry, Joss Whedon, they're making Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, Joss Whedon's getting paid.
He's going to get paid. Yeah, exactly.
Joss Whedon's getting paid. He's involved in a check. That is what he's involved in. So this whole idea, don't worry, fingerprints Joss Whedon. Sure, that's not how the law works.
This is not an endorsement. Buffy led to Twilight. This is not an endorsement in a positive way for me. So, yeah, I missed the Buffy train completely. It just wasn't. I tried watching a couple episodes. I was like, this is no different than Charmed. There's nothing here that's that different. But I know for some people, it is a massive deal. So, I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. The fact that Chloe Zhao wants to do it. Why, Jeff?
Really, you can tell she really wants to do something with vampires.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Didn't she have another vampire thing at Universal?
That's right. That's right.
I think she's just really interested in doing something with vampires, and this was an opportunity. Now, again, the funny thing to me was last May when I heard Searchlight was taking this package out with Chloe Zhao and Sarah Michelle Gellar returning. I asked Searchlight, "Hey, is this going on?" And they said, "Nope."
Right.
Inaccurate. 7 months later, here we are. How did the show get bought if nobody took it out?
Yeah. Good point. All right.
Infuriating. And I don't hold that stuff anymore. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Don't care.
How? One last thing you brought up. Anna Sawai for Yoko Ono for these Beatles films. How certain are you of that? That makes so much sense to me. How certain are you of that?
I mean, confident enough to run it as a rumor.
Yeah. All right.
Again, different source than the original source on those Beatles things, which I think needs to be said. And again, how many journalists would even admit that in print? Not many. I told you. Not the same source, not quite as confident.
Right.
That's just me being honest. Doesn't mean I'm not confident, because I was obviously confident enough to run it.
Yeah.
Again, you hear Yoko Ono. This is arguably the most famous Japanese woman that there is.
Maybe. I'm trying to think in my head.
The average person?
Yeah, I mean, you say Yoko to have a person, they know who they are. I mean, at least
one word person.
Above 30, above 40 years old, yes.
You think, and then you just Google like who are the most famous Japanese actresses who are around that age.
Yeah.
I mean, Anna Sawai is the most prestige Japanese actress after winning the Emmy and the Golden Globe.
Yeah.
Now, again, Shogun season 2, big shoot, intensive shoot, long shoot. So is the Beatles. That could be a conflict. But if you're Yoko, you don't need to be in every scene necessarily.
Right.
The best part with the reactions, John, I'm going to give you your chance to respond in a second.
Please. No, yeah.
The looks, where it's like, oh, Anna Sawai is too pretty. First of all, none of these fucking guys look like the Beatles. It's all aesthetics. And it's a lot easier to make a beautiful girl look a little uglier than it is to make an uglier girl look a lot beautiful. No offense to Yoko. But yeah, you just got to paint a little fucking gap in the teeth and make her nose a little bit bigger and like grow her hair out. And like, I don't understand. She could totally play Yoko and it would be a casting coup for that project.
Well, and the point is you're trying to make it believable that your John Lennon would fall in love with that Yoko, right? And so people need to understand that would be the casting process. The John Lennon that you've chosen has to have this life-changing head over heels love for Yoko. So
it's a movie. Everybody gets a glow up.
Huh?
Everybody gets a glow up in a movie.
Yeah, it's a glow up. Yeah, of course, always. Please, that's the way it goes. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the questions here. We got 32 of them right now as we're starting. So we'll see how many we have by the end. But
we only had one, John.
Yeah, I remember.
Then I turned on the fucking Jets.
We had to spank that ass a little bit. Ernestine Forever says the only problem with race swaps X-Men is brand and merch. Marvel is not going to lose merch dollars like BP2 and Eternals. They just add to it because the comic books are the comic books and the movies are the movies. You know, what are we talking about here? I mean, they just changed race with Fantastic Four. Reed Richards has always been a white dude. Now it's a Latino guy. So you're going to have merch for that. So yeah.
Then you make, that's the whole point of changing things is that you make new.
So you can make more money. Exactly.
And sell it again. Someone who already has the white Magneto doll. That's the white Magneto doll. Oh my God. Go on.
Or the Professor X. Wiley Todd, good to see you. Wiley says, go see Hard Eyes. Loved it. First act was weak, though. Jeff, have you seen it? And Rocha, please make time to see it. Yes, I want to see it this week, and I hear good things. Jeff, did you like Hard Eyes? Yes or no?
That was okay.
Ooh.
I liked Mason Gooding, who was a lot better a lot more charming and handsome and everything than he was in the Scream movie.
I was going to say, you're not a big fan of Mason in the Scream movies. So
like movies. I actually did. I will admit that I liked him in this. And Josh, there's some clever writing in this. A lot of throwaway gag stuff in the background. Like you got to keep an ear out. Josh Rubin, it's okay, but the problem is again the end. Which, if I was the head of Spyglass, I think I would. I don't know what I would do to my executives, but I would fire them all.
Oh my God! Wow,
one of the worst. I mean. The end of Hard Eyes is just like the end of the last Scream movie. And it's like, the end of the last Scream movie was horrible.
Yes.
Who did this again?
Yeah. There we go. What about Love Hurts? Did you get a chance to see that? That's not getting good reviews at all, my man. It's at like 29%.
I missed the screening last night. I was not going to jeopardize my colleagues. Although how many colleagues do I know who would jeopardize the rest of us and go to the movie sick?
A lot.
Plenty. Because it's a free movie.
I used to work with one. Used to get me sick whenever they'd be on the mic. Ewok, who says, who's playing Brian Epstein in the Beatles films? Do we know yet, Jeff? I haven't heard anything. Have you? No. Okay.
No, but I put it out there that I think either Cumberbatch or Fassbender would be good for that the fifth Beatle guy, George Martin or whatever.
I think you might go young. Oh, fifth Beatle. You mean George Martin? You mean the producer? Yes, I could see.
They call
Fassbender or Cumberbatch, right? Epstein's around their age, so you'd have to find someone who's just 2 or 3 years older than your Lennon or whatever.
I see.
Yeah. James D. Michelle says, hey, guys, which movie do you think will come out on top, Superman or Fantastic Four? How much do you think they will each make?
I will take Superman.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't make the decision right now. I still lean towards Fantastic Four, but I am not as confident as I was after seeing the reactions to the Fantastic Four trailer, which weren't positive in some quarters of the world. So Brooklyn says, any scoops on who Paul Giamatti is dating? Who is Paulie G dating? Do we know?
I may be Paul Giamatti's nephew, Jeff Giamatti, but I don't know who Uncle Paulie is dating.
I love Paul Giamatti. And for those who don't know, I do host a show called The Cinephiles and Podcast. We just did a 3-part breakdown of Sideways, 2 hours each, breaking down that movie scene by scene. Paul Giamatti, what an incredible actor in that film. Mike Joyce says, what happened to Ariana DeBose? Apparently Love Hurts is terrible. Has anyone won an Oscar and followed it up with 5 stinkers in a row? Yeah, I think Halle Berry, Mercedes Rule. I mean, there are a few of these, right, Jeff? And usually it's best supporting actresses who follow up with like 5 stinkers.
Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, hey, you take a payday, you get what you deserve.
Yeah. I mean, especially with someone like Ariana DeBose, who was like, she was what, part of the cast list on Hamilton. She was not any of the leads in Hamilton. Got this part West Side Story. She was incredible. But she was in she's in Argyle, Wish, Craven the Hunter, and Love Hurts. So yeah, some bad runs from there. So we'll see. All right, Forging.
I'm doing a nice little indie movie where you can act and not a big studio movie.
Like I said, collect that paycheck. The Forging the Faith podcast. Krasinski was perfect. Pedro isn't it. But I like the trailer mostly, hoping Marvel turns it around. We disagree a lot, but I appreciate the show. Oh, Krasinski would have. I don't think Krasinski would have been a good Reed Richards at all. What do you think there?
I think he would have been fine, but the problem with Krasinski, and he's going to resent this, is that unfortunately he is always going to be Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
I mean, Emily is the theatrical star. John is the TV star in that relationship. And John is a great director. So, just saying.
He can play other roles, but he can't play iconic characters.
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch Jack Ryan. That's why I'm binging Reacher right now.
Oh.
Don't bother with Jack Ryan. Don't you think that's weird?
Yeah. I tried the Jack Ryan with Krasinski. It's not at all it's not Jack Ryan.
Jim from the fucking Office.
Yeah. I'll say this. We finished Reacher last night, the new season. Favorite season of the show so far.
I'm finishing it tonight, John, because I didn't know. First of all, I started it last night. Maybe why I seem crazy.
Wow. Wow.
I started it last night. I have one left.
Yeah.
And it's under embargo, so I won't say anything. But
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
movie star.
yeah.
Movie star.
I'm coming around on that. So yeah, I know. 34 Virgo. So is Denzel a hint at Magneto, or just what you would like to see? Because Denzel claims it's a small role. Also, as Majors as Kang have any truth to it? I think we answered that. 34 Virgo.
Oh, I don't think we have. Wait a second. Okay, the Majors, yeah, we've answered. But is Denzel a hint at Magneto, or just what you'd like to see? Because Denzel claims it's a small role. Claims it's a small role in Black Panther
3. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't realize people were hiring Denzel for small roles these days.
Goopy G says, hot mic for life. Where's Freaky Tales? I liked it. Yeah, do you have any news on that?
I have no news. I imagine we could get news this week or two because with like Berlin and the international markets, people get together and shit like that. But
okay.
I really don't know.
Okay.
Was it Bond or I forget if that's A24 or like if it's just like totally up for grabs. I imagine someone will buy it as counter programming. And if I were them, I'd release it on the heels of Fantastic Four. I'd release it in August, a couple weeks after Fantastic Four, because it has Pedro.
Right. Good point. Samo says, your thoughts on Companion and I'm Still There. Haven't seen either one, Jeff.
Didn't see I'm Still There. Companion, I liked but didn't love.
Okay. All right. How about Sophie? Did you like Sophie?
She's good. I mean, she is. Jack Quaid, I think, is... That's a movie star. That's like your next Tom Hanks.
They dropped a Super Bowl ad for Novocaine today.
I don't know if I mean, that's straight out of the Love Hurts Nobody formula kind of. I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
Like the Rami Malek one looks different with the amateur, right? Where he's like the nerdy analyst. Like that, it's this whole thing, right? It's the nerdy guy who fights back finally.
Right.
I wouldn't have spent a Super Bowl spot money on Novocaine.
I'm shocked they did.
Yeah, I would not do that. If you told me that was a movie that made like $6 million opening weekend, I'd believe you. I mean, I'm surprised. I thought Companion might play a little bit better than it did.
It's kind of shocking.
I thought it might overperform, but he's good, and I do think he's going to have an interesting career ahead of him.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got to veer away from maybe the psycho stuff.
Well, he did.
He's a rom-com.
What did I say this? He did a video this week making fun of himself being in a fake Criterion closet, and he kept pulling the terrible Spider-Man movies from Sony. And I thought that was a ballsy.
I want to watch that.
Yeah,
very funny. He has a good sense of humor. He has a good face. I don't know. He's likable.
Yeah, and guess what, guys? He also has an ego. All right. Brooklyn says, any scoops on Taylor Swift and William H. Macy beef? What? Are they beefing? I don't know anything about that. Is that a thing? I don't even know that's a thing, man. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's
I do like that she's turning on Blake, though.
Yeah. There's rumors that she's pulling herself away. I want to listen. Travis Kelce came out today and said that he is happy that Trump is coming to the Super Bowl. He takes it an honor.
It is.
Patrick Mahomes is MAGA. Brittany is MAGA. And everyone thinks that she's been wearing red shows support for the Chiefs. But don't be surprised if you hear Taylor Swift coming out.
What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now?
Don't be surprised if she comes out and she's kind of okay with Trump. Don't be surprised if that happens.
He's the commander-in-chief. He's the president of the United States. Are you supposed to throw a pie in his face at the Super Bowl? You're supposed to shake his hand and say, it's nice to meet you, Mr. President, and then you can ignore him.
I would love to throw a pie in his face at the Super Bowl, but I can't. Dennis Hoffman says, love Liefeld, but if there's criticism, he closes off. He does. He's got a lot of projects in development. Hope one comes to fruition. Yeah, Rob can be a persnickety guy. I mean, it's not a criticism. I think he knows that about himself, but, it is part of the thing with him. Yes?
Again, I like Rob. I support a lot of what Rob said, but I also don't know if Rob, it seemed a little slight to go so public.
Yeah, I agree. For a guy of his stature to go petty, it seemed a little.
Ewok says bloggers like me.
Yeah. Let us get petty. You know what, Rob? Feed us your info. We'll do it on the show.
I don't mind looking like a fucking asshole on the internet.
Ewok says it's being reported that Spielberg's UFO film is titled Disclosure, not to be confused with the 90s Michael Douglas thriller. Any truth to this? Yeah, I saw that report in a couple places, Jeff. Have you seen that?
I have seen that report. I don't know if it's true. I don't know that I like using the name of another movie.
Yeah.
Even if it's an old movie that nobody really remembers, or that few remember. I remember, having grown up as been a young boy around that age. I like it because I think it hints at what the movie is about. I think it's that is what is in the air right now.
Yeah.
Even with Dan Farah's documentary, Dan Farah is the executive producer of Ready Player One, by the way. Steven Spielberg,
nice, right?
Ready Player One. He has a documentary at South by Southwest this weekend that's all about 80 government officials and people like that saying aliens are real. We've been keeping it from people. I mean, you can call it bullshit if you want, which is fine, and I kind of do. I don't even know that I'm a big believer in this stuff, but
yeah,
there's a lot of people out there, as Harloff knows, who buy into this stuff, and it's not outside the realm of possibility.
I know. Christian keeps sending me these documentaries that I'm supposed to watch. I can't make myself do it just yet, but maybe
it's a little bit of a bridge too far for me, but I think that's what Disclosure hints at, that it's like we're ready to talk about it.
Well, it's interesting you bring this up here as a question because one of our listeners, longtime friend or longtime supporter of the stuff I've done, I'm not gonna say his name, but he sent me some DMs because he was there in a casting call on Long Island looking for background extras 18 to 70 years old to play wrestling fans for Steven Spielberg's UFO film. Apparently, they're going to shoot some wrestling stuff on March 4th. He sent his picture in. He says he doesn't know what other projects he's working on besides that, but whatever it is, it has wrestling in it, it seems like. And he just saw that it is his UFO movie. He sent me that a little bit later. This is in January, starring Emily Blunt. They're using the name Non-View as the name of the movie there around that township. They're also casting in Cape May, New Jersey for train passengers and car drivers. But Spielberg is going to shoot some pro wrestling scenes for the movie. So I'm curious to see how that's going to fit into the story he's telling overall with that UFO film. So, yeah, curious stuff.
Brooke, fan base wrestling. I have no idea how it would fit into it. Maybe in a wrestling.
Maybe a lot of wrestlers have spoken about UFO experiences. So I don't know. We'll see. No, I say this because I'm not trying to say this like, the
aliens beam up the bushwhackers.
I got probed, dude. No, it's more a matter of like wrestlers in the years past, of course, worked like 320 out of 352 days of the year. So they'd be on the road all the time in cars, late at night, going from city to city. And there are a lot of accounts of pro wrestlers seeing what they think are UFOs in the sky. So just throwing it out there. Brooklyn says, any news on John from Cincinnati season 2? I wish. I liked that show. I know nobody else did, but I liked it. It was jazz for HBO. Cowboys Fan 92 says, hi, John and Jeff. Hope you're good. I personally see Marvel going the Fantastic Four route with the X-Men introduction. For example, they already exist in another timeline, only just have not gotten their powers yet. Yeah, probably, Jeff, right? They're probably already going to be formed as a team of mutants, and they jump over into the main timeline. Or do you think they're going to, like, sprout up in the main timeline and become the X-Men? What do you think? I
got to tell you, Cowboys Fan 92, unfortunately, what you just did is hit a tripwire.
Ooh.
And so you used the word timeline, and so my mind shut off, and I am no longer interested. Sorry.
He doesn't like the multiverse stuff.
I don't talk about that. It makes my head hurt. Timelines, there's one fucking timeline. It's the one I'm living in right now.
Right. Or is it? Wayne Edwards says, screw you, Jeff. I love the bear. Haha, just kidding. I love you guys. That Fantastic Four trailer surprised me. Pretty darn good. Superman and Fantastic Four are looking good. I'm in Wayne's camp. I liked both of those trailers, not Jurassic World. So, let's see. Lemmy War says, okay, boys, I'm hearing Sam Reed, Interview the Vampire, is firming up as the lead for American Psycho. What are your thoughts? Jeff, does that pass your smell test? Does that seem believable?
Lemmy, what the fuck, dude? Why don't you send me a DM? I'll fucking look into it. You're giving it up in front of everybody. And what the hell?
information?
I don't really know Sam Reed's work,
Okay.
but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. I think
I
that
don't think so
that
either.
show is supposedly pretty good.
Mm.
People like him, and I could see it being an unknown. That's what I always thought it would be, even though I acknowledge that Lionsgate would cast a star because it had to.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know what version of, like, if you're talking about, because again, if we're talking about Luca's movie,
Mm.
I just don't think that's happening anytime soon. So when you say firming up as the lead, it's like, how is that possible?
Yeah. It's a good question. Yeah. We'll see. Mike Troy says, will we get dino-human hybrids in Rebirth? No, I don't think we're going that far in Rebirth. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Isn't that like basically like turning it into the Alien franchise?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And something's already coming in a certain franchise that will be a mixture of species. I don't want to ruin it. Fireside Review says, John, who's the director you would have brought on that would bring the same skill and magic that Spielberg did? For what, though? For what specifically?
Right.
For Jurassic Park. Oh, that's a great question. Denis Villeneuve. End of conversation. If you got Denis Villeneuve doing a Jurassic World movie, people would lose their motherfucking minds.
That's true.
Right?
That is true. But it's like, sort of the thing is, no one wants to follow Steven. He's done it.
Yeah.
And that movie's perfect. Like, how do you build upon perfection?
The older I get, the more I appreciate Steven Spielberg. I know, and I have said that, he's a long in tooth for some things, but that motherfucker is a warrior. And you can get caught up in his nice persona and his like, I love movies and I love people. But like, Steve is a warrior. And people say all the time, like, the one person you don't cross in Hollywood is Steven Spielberg. And there's a reason for that. So, yeah, his films grow in my estimation as I get older, and I appreciate what he did even more. Yeah.
Okay, wait, there's one other idea.
Okay. One other idea?
Dinosaurs are on the loose, John.
Okay.
If I called you and said, John,
yeah,
dinosaurs are on the loose in San Diego.
Oof.
Are you excited? Are you scared?
Of course I'm scared.
You're scared.
Yes.
Who makes good scary movies that have a bit of spectacle to them? Works with Universal a lot.
Okay.
Jordan Peele.
Oh.
Jordan Peele doing a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie with more of a black cast.
I think it would be Black Dinosaur.
I don't know.
I like the idea, though. Jordan is great.
I think that would be cool.
What about
need a black cast? I'm just saying.
What about Coralie Farge? Oh, I like that. Yeah. What about Coralie Farge's Jurassic World? Can we see that?
It's you and the dinosaur. You are one. You live 7 days as a dinosaur. You live 7 days as Alan Grant.
You can't get it back. You can't get it back. CB Black says if F4 wins July box office, especially with Doctor Doom. Yeah, but the Doctor Doom will be part of the post-credit scene. It won't be in the movie. Right? Galactus is what you're selling the film on, and Silver Surfer.
No one's gonna know Doctor Doom's in the movie until opening weekend.
Yeah. Forging Faith Podcast says, y'all see the Xenomorphosaur in the trailer? Yeah, in that red thing. But it was a good moment, but it was one of the few good moments in the trailer. So
having the Cloverfield monster in a Jurassic movie is,
yeah.
What are we doing here?
I am Savvy Mike 96 TV says Rocha and Sneider are the goats of movie punditry. If I had to name a Mount Rushmore, it would be Rocha, Jeff, Christian, and Campia. Keep it up, guys. Ooh.
Hey, we can't have a Mount Rushmore without Schnepp.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I will happily concede my spot. I don't belong in the same with these guys, so happily give that to Schnepp. Weehaw says, Jeff, Marvel never said Kang was the final villain of the multiverse saga. Phase 5 is planned. Okay, wasn't Doom always planned as the final big bad? I don't think it was. I think it was going to be Kang all the way through. Do you think it was going to be Kang all the way through or Doom?
I have no idea. Because let's say it was Kang, and then so it was still gonna be Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And so they were still gonna do Fantastic Four.
Yes.
So I mean, I assume they would have had maybe the same plan to have introduced Doom. Is there someone else? I thought.
The reason I say it was Kang is because there's a reason they went variants, because they wanted Jonathan Majors to be the villain in multiple movies in different versions of Kang, and they would all come together as all the Council of Kangs taking on the Marvel Universe. That was the plan, I think. And then all the stuff happened with Jonathan Majors. So
I don't know. Someone actually hit me up in the inbox this week offering me the script for the Kang Dynasty if I had some stuff. And I was like, I gotta tell you, I'm not interested. No trade. No trade. I don't really care about a movie that's not getting made.
Well, tell them to send it to me. I would love to read it.
All due respect. Thank you for the offer.
Yeah. Matt Citizen McCall says, who will win Best Picture if you decided? Also, Jeff and John, can you give your best? Give me the keys, you cocksucker. Love Usual Suspects lineup poster, Jeff. Oh, yeah, there it is. Give me the keys, you cocksucker. That's my Benicio. That's my best.
we should each do our own for each guy. Give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker. Give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker, motherfucker!
Yeah, I can only give you Benicio. Who will win Best Picture?
What the fuck?
What's that? I said flip you. Best Picture. Yeah, for me, it's Brutalist. There's no question. Jeff, what do you say here? Brutalist?
Yeah, I mean, if we're judging from these 10 movies, it is The Brutalist.
Yeah. Tony McCall says, sorry. Hey, John and Jeff, was wondering if you guys had any advice on how to break into media journalism. Is it worth returning back to college to finish? Happy to support the channel. Thank you, Tony. Jeff?
We've got lives here. We've got young lives we need to mold here.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Sometimes I think, I'm sorry, guys.
Tony, if I got to be honest, no. I have no training. I did not go to J school. I'm sure the people who went to J school
like that.
are doing great. There's nothing wrong with J school. I'm sure you're going to get a great job at a media company. I mean, those companies still exist. They still need to hire. But I think you just got to do it. It's like screenwriting. It's like if I could go back in time, I didn't need to spend $200,000 on a fucking piece of paper that says Jeff Sneider has a degree in screenwriting.
Yeah.
It means nothing. You just have to go out and do it. You want an education, go buy $100 or $200 worth of books, screenwriting books, or in this case, media journalism books. But going back to college is a different question as to how to break in. I think you just got to intern. As many internships as you can. If you get paid ones, great. But do them places that they're actually they have a track record of hiring interns. Variety, for all the shit I give her, Variety.
Yeah.
Variety has an amazing internship program.
Yep.
They give you a ton of responsibility. There's a lot of trust there. The woman who used to run is not there anymore. She was amazing. And if you can get into Variety, I will, they don't give a fuck what I think anymore. I will write you a recommendation to whoever it is. And they should respect it because it's coming from me, but they probably won't. It probably won't help.
You'll work your way through it. I don't have as much. Here's what I would say to you, because you're young, so you may not know this already, but you have to ask yourself what kind of media journalism you want to do. Who do you want to be? And once you figure out who you want to be, then I think the doors open and where you're supposed to go a little more easier. If you're not, then what Jeff is saying is very clear. Explore it, figure it out, learn it as you go along, and then you'll find what feels natural to you. And then that'll be the door or the path you walk overall. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's about, can you do it? Because I know many people who are super educated in journalism and they're boring as fuck in their writing and they're boring as fuck in their presentation. You've also got to have a personality. And so you've got to have that element to it, I think 100%. Because I see some of these writers hosting shows on big networks and they are snooze fests, fucking snooze fests, because they're not personalities. You got to have both, I think.
Yeah, I think, Tony, focus on the doers, not the talkers.
Yeah, 100%. Tony, Matt P says, hi, guys. Any Super Bowl plans? Yes, sitting in this office and watching the game. Jeff?
With who? With who?
Oh, probably by myself. Lady Outlaw's probably going to be out of town. So I'm probably just going to jump between the trailers that drop, doing reactions, and going back to the game. So that's my life on Sunday. I'm working Sunday. Yeah.
That sounds not fun. Why don't you come up to Los Angeles and come to JTE's with me?
Oh, you guys going to JTE?
Game's at 3:30. You could get on the road by noon. Get there at 2. We could hang out all afternoon, eat some pizza, drink some beers, tape some fucking shit for your channel.
Get the norovirus? I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be okay by Sunday.
Robert J. Kidd says you guys should get Karla on the show. Certainly. I mean, we might. I mean, Jeff, I don't know if you know anybody, but
Karla may be watching this right now. She may contact us.
Yeah, Karla, let's go.
Yeah, she doesn't work with Netflix anymore. I may get a note from her agent.
Yeah, if anyone who knows Karla watches this show, reach out to her. Tell her we'd love to interview her.
I will be her date.
We'll take a whole hour. Like, we'll interview for a whole hour back and forth. I'll do it in Spanish. Jeff will do it in English. She gets covered in both audiences. What?
Hold her purse on the
exactly. There you go. You'll be her date. Walter Morris Mendoza says, it's funny that people were shocked about Karla being a racist. Ask any Latin American, they'll tell you Spaniards are the most racist people. Yikes. LOL.
That's not racist at all.
Yeah, that's a little racist. I've known some good Spaniards. I've known some bad Spaniards, and I've known some good and bad people in a lot of Spanish.
Are you watching Paradise?
Not yet. No, I'm going to start. I know there was a big death that happened on the show in the most recent episode. So I got to start because it's going to ruin.
I feel like we've lost track of the word racist. So like in the show, it's not a spoiler or anything, but
okay.
James Marsden, the president, plays basketball. And so he thinks Sterling K. Brown is also going to be good at basketball
because he's black.
Yeah. Right. And someone's like, well, that's racist. And it's like, is it? I think racist was about discriminating against someone. It's not like a complimentary thing.
Right. Racism is implied a negative stereotype.
It's a stereotype. Right. That's what it is. There's a difference between stereotyping and racism.
Right.
James Marsden thinking that his black bodyguard is going to be good at basketball is not a racist thing. I don't think.
Right. I agree.
The plot here.
It's not. It's like walking up to a white guy and saying, "Do my taxes," and you assume he's an accountant. He can be an accountant because he's white. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's a negative thing.
Because I'm Jewish, I could do your taxes, but you're going to get a call from the IRS.
Mr. Penguin says, "Is it true that Derek Hoffman now is the VP of Lucasfilm?" I saw this pop up a few hours ago. Yeah, Jeff, this was announced. Derek Hoffman will now be in charge at Lucasfilm of some of the productions going forward. Did you see this already? What do you think of this decision?
I mean, I'm not familiar with Derek Hoffman. He was just a guy who got a promotion at Lucasfilm, and I say congratulations to him. But it's just because the other VPs just got some other jobs.
Yeah, he will oversee.
One went to Searchlight, one went to Amazon.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, he will oversee. What is he going to see? They haven't made a formal announcement, by the way. This is breaking on a number of areas, but they haven't formally said so. Let's see. Hoffman is known perhaps best as the executive and producer on each film in Fox's X-Men franchise. He was notably an associate producer on X-Men Days of Future Past and an executive producer on TV series Legion, which I thought was great, and The Gifted. So yeah, he might be in charge there, although they haven't officially announced it. And he would be in charge of overseeing the live action projects there at Star Wars. So maybe they're making this move and making decisions about some of the movies ahead of Star Wars Celebration in Japan. And if you
call me, baby. We are the premier Star Wars podcast as far as breaking news goes. So I mean, Derek,
let's go. Come on, Derek. Say this again. Go ahead, Jeff.
Let's have a relationship, Bubby.
There you go. Ario Phoenix, Jeff, will Doom be in Fantastic Four? I know you know. LOL. I think it's pretty well kept. It's not that well kept secret.
Yeah.
In a post-credit scene.
I mean, again, when you've made how many movies now? 32 movies?
Yeah.
And they all seem to have a post-credit scene, and half of those post-credit scenes introduce a new character. I mean, not a lot of surprises.
There you go. Let's see what we got. Okay, Draws Walker saying, thank you, Jeff and John. Hashtag the hot mic has been of Mind Spark for a while now. Due to the changes at Hasbro, when will we see another G.I. Joe-based show or movie? Oof, I think it's going to be a while till we see a G.I. Joe movie. What do you think here?
I think you just put out a very interesting idea I have not considered yet, Draws. So there you go. You say Mind Spark for a while. You just fucking repaid the favor, my friend.
Oh.
I actually think, looking at this landscape, that a G.I. Joe show would be a lot better and perform a lot stronger than a G.I. Joe movie, which I have absolutely no interest in.
if you go the energy of Reacher for a G.I. Joe show, you might have quite a success on your hands.
Exactly who you hire is Nick Santora. That guy is very prolific. He writes like fucking Taylor Sheridan. He just doesn't get half as much PR.
Right.
He does everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah. It's a good idea. A message from McCall says, unless it's the murder or SI, I root for canceled people. Unless it's murder or sexual assault, I root for canceled people. F society and the turds of Twitter. Do we not forgive people anymore? Geez, preach Pastor Sneider. Oh, there you go.
Hey, some trades cut off their nose to spite their face for the next 30 years because they didn't like some tweets.
It's true.
Remember that, trades.
Robert Giacinta said, watching the Celtics and a TV spot for Mickey 17 came on. Maybe I would be surprised, but this movie looks like ass, and I doubt it makes any money. God damn, Jeff.
It is. Again, it actually, it's grown on me a little in the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to lie. There's a realm, because I saw Companion in IMAX with
yes.
in April, and I think they had the trailer for it, and I was like, this movie, it looks beautiful. It really does, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Bong is obviously a talented director, but there's just something about him and the voice and the story. I just don't care. Yeah, I don't think it's going to perform well. I don't think it looks like ass, but it doesn't look good, and I do think it's going to be a money loser.
There you go. There you go. When Edward says, FYI, the Cinephiles analysis breakdown of Sideways was fantastic. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Thank you, John, and also Steve. So well done. I loved your insights. That movie hits differently when you are in your 50s. I'm in my 30s, but yes, I agree 100%. It hits differently when you're older. I'll just leave it at that. But thank you so much. Thank you for listening. What's that?
Wait, let's see if I can get you to bite on this bet.
Okay. A bet. All right.
Mickey 17. $30 million opening.
No.
You going higher or
low? Low. No way.
Okay.
No way.
I was going to go low too. So
yeah. No. There's no way. That film and the unusual nature of it. Nah.
Okay. Next.
Globally, maybe. Not domestically. Buck Teeth Bandit says, hey guys, anything on Batman Part 2? Thanks. I haven't heard anything. Jeff, have you?
Nope. Yeah. This is going to be actually, I got my little check from DC right here. They paid to me to leave them alone this episode, so that's what we're gonna do. Thank you, DC, for paying your dues.
I heard they do pay people to stay to not
Rich
say
tonight. Thanks, James Gunn.
Gaylord of the Ring says, who do you have in the Super Bowl? Fuck, I hate to say it. Probably the Chiefs, man. I hate to say it.
If anyone is betting against Patrick Mahomes at this point in their career, come on. What are you doing?
Trump is in the house. He is MAGA. She is MAGA. There's no way they're losing a three-peat. The NFL is removing end racism from the end line because Trump is coming. So if you don't think they're paying the refs before, they're certainly paying the refs now. And I'm only saying that facetiously. Haunted_Autumn says, can't donate again for a while. Have to save up to head across the pond for Black Sabbath's final show, but wanted to say thank you one more time. Oh, Haunted, very kind of you. Please go save up your money and go have fun with Black Sabbath.
Yes, exactly, Haunted. Yeah. You can still tune in to us, but the rest of you have to pay. The rest of you.
Exactly. You guys make up the slack for Haunted.
I did see that announcement, though, Haunted Autumn, this morning, and I was like, Jesus, if I could ever get my dad on a plane, that would be the one concert I think he'd fucking love to see.
Black Sabbath? Oh, wow.
It's like a zillion metal bands. It's Metallica, Slayer, Pantera. It's everybody. Pumpkins.
Wow. Brooklyn says, you guys see Wolf Bitch? I love Amy, but it was trash. Oh, you mean Night Bitch?
Is he in a different country? Maybe it has a different name in like some other parts of the world.
In Spain, it's called Wolf Bitch.
It's called Wolf Bitch. I liked Night Bitch.
Okay.
I didn't love it, but I'd give it like a B.
Would you pull it?
It was very good.
Would you put it in the Tully camp? In the is that in that camp? Would you?
I actually liked Tully a little bit more, but yes, that's actually a good camp to put it in.
Okay. All right. Fair point.
Yeah. I love Charlize and Reitman are working together.
The Lady Outlaw and I have taken to saying that to each other as we're walking around the corner. Night bitch. So, that's our talk nowadays. Alex says anything on Batman 2 at all? We answer that, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Miguel Zion says, Jeff, when are we getting that screenwriting course? LOL. Can I get some advice from both of you for writing a good screenplay from the dramedy genre? Thanks. Oof.
That's a tough genre.
That's oof.
I think.
Yeah. I say, if you're going to make it work, you've got to make the central relationship the strongest thing in the movie, because you can make stumbles on other things, but if people are invested in the strongest relationship in your movie, whether it's romantic or friendship or a family relationship, that's what's going to sell your movie and get people to see it more than they would if you are stumbling around with that as well. So that's what I would say. Get that central relationship really good and honed, and everything else I think would fall into place. Yeah.
Stay true to your characters and emphasize the drama. It ain't called a comma, right? It's called a dramedy. You lead with the drama.
Right.
There's no funniest movie ever that is a dramedy. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're gonna make a comedy and really try to make people laugh, you kind of got to go all the way. So if you're making a dramedy, it has to be a drama with a little bit of humor, not a comedy with, you know what I mean?
Think about how great Sideways is. We just talked about it, right? What makes that work? It's the relationship with him and Virginia Madsen. Yes, the relationship with him and Thomas Hayden Church is the comedy, but it wouldn't be as good if the relationship with him and Virginia Madsen wasn't so excellent in the film and tragic, you know?
Fair.
Owen Lanning says, you guys are the best. Keep killing it. Good live stream last night, John. Oh, thank you. Sent you a DM on how I dig the direction of the channel. Yes, I saw that, Owen. Thanks so much. You know me, I'm just learning as I go along. But yes, going live more often is absolutely the approach. And I'm always thankful that Jeff and I keep doing this show every week. Forging Faith Podcast says, any DC news or behind the scenes tea, Jeff? No, you've been paid off.
Everybody wants the DC news. Everybody is jonesing for that DC news. I got nothing this week, guys. This was a Marvel week.
Big time Marvel week. Forging also says, Sicario 3, what's next for Denis after Dune? Maybe takes a break, Jeff? Do you think he takes a break? A little bit of a break?
Has earned a break, deserves a break. I do think that something smaller makes sense rather than something like big and heady like Rendezvous with Rama or Cleopatra. I think it would be nice to see Denis go back to making something a little bit smaller and grittier.
What about a caper film? Do like an Oceans film, man. Do something like have fun. A European caper film, I think, would be a lot of fun. Just throwing that out there. Forging Faith says, is RDJ only signed for 2 Avengers films? Yeah, that's the rumor that came out this week in a number of places on social media, Jeff, that RDJ is only going to be for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Of course, he'll probably pop up in Fantastic Four as well. But initially, the rumors last week or 2 weeks ago were like, he's going to stay on and be the Doctor Doom into the new phases. What do you think about all of this?
Well, I don't even know. So, like in what? In Fantastic Four sequels?
Well, is RDJ going to stay Doctor Doom after Secret Wars, or do you think they're done with RDJ after Secret Wars?
Yeah, I don't. By the end of Secret Wars, I don't even know if he's still Doom. Right? It's like there's multiple. I can't even go off the normal rules of a movie or screenwriting or anything because nothing makes fucking sense.
Right.
So, unfortunately, I can't even speculate with all this multiverse shit. It literally, there's no point in speculating because anything can happen.
That's true. Anything can happen. Ario Phoenix says, will Wanda have a big role in the Avengers films? Yeah, I think so. You don't think so?
Probably, but again, I didn't watch WandaVision or the other one with Agatha. And so I have no idea where that character is. I've completely lost track of that character. I hope Marvel keeps that in mind.
If they're opening the door to Mr. Sinister, then absolutely Wanda is going to have a massive part of the Avengers films, and not just the Avengers films, other things as well. I think they see that they have a real diamond in Elizabeth Olsen in a way they didn't have with Brie, or didn't develop with Brie, and didn't 100% get there with Scarlett Johansson. I think with Elizabeth, they know they do have something really big there. Ewok says, in 10 years' time, when Ryan Murphy starts working on Feud, Baldoni versus Lively, which actors should play the 2 lead roles? Well, they're probably in high school right now. I don't know, Jeff.
10 years from now. Jeez. Let's think about that.
Who should we
see as a young Baldoni?
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've seen him yet.
I'm thinking of like now like 15-year-old kids or like 20-year-old kids who can play him. But
I mean, he has such an unusually strong jawline. You could see Finn Wolfhard if he put on some weight.
I thought the same thing, but I was thinking it'd be so silly to say that right now. Like, and I thought the same thing, John.
Yeah. And look, if you wanted to blonde Sadie Sink's hair up, you could absolutely make her be Blake, which would be a lot of fun.
Baldoni's a dreamboat. He's a very handsome guy. I don't think of Finn like that necessarily, but he was the first person who came to mind.
Yeah, he's got the same kind of facial structure, right? I mean, come on.
It would be a little bit easier. Let's see.
I mean, look, Michelle Williams looked nothing like what's her face in that film.
Both the girls who are announced today for the Nowhere Game or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
but Kiernan Shipka and McKenna Grace.
McKenna Grace.
I think both of those could be Blake Lively 15 years from now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Someone's saying Charles Melton for Jamie saying Charles.
But he'll be too old by then to play Baldoni in 10 years, right? I mean, his mid-30s, 40s. I don't know.
I mean, it's just a fun question.
Yeah, I agree. Forging Faith also says, I feel like the movie-going audience is hungry for new or original cinema, not comics, etc. Any books or deep cuts you guys would recommend they make? Thriller, suspense. I feel like 90s era thriller. Well, I mean, you say that Forging Faith, The Companion was an original story that came out and did only $9 million. So worldwide, I think worldwide. So, you know.
I mean, I can't give away all my special magic here as far as what I would do as a development executive. But if there's one property,
yes,
if I'm Netflix and I'm making this Fear Street 4, which comes out this summer,
yes,
I invest in the R.L. Stine brand. You can't get your hands on Goosebumps. That's Disney Plus.
That's true.
You make The Babysitter. R.L. Stine wrote a book called The Babysitter. There are 4 of them. The 4th one is not good. But those first 2 are really good thrillers. And if done right, those could surprise people. So a couple of people have optioned that book over the years, but nothing's happened with it. I've been vocal about it to certain managers and people like that in the genre space. But R.L. Stine, The Babysitter. If you haven't read that one, it's a good one.
Okay. Let's see. Brooklyn says, I need my Dane. What?
Dean Koontz, Oddkins. Everybody look up Oddkins. You remember this book?
Dean Koontz. Yep.
Dean Koontz wrote a children's book. It's literally called, I think the subtitle is A Dark Fable for All Ages. And it's basically a twisted take on Toy Story.
Oh, wow.
Imagine an R-rated Toy Story.
Okay.
Good toys versus evil toys. Like really evil.
Good choice. You know what? I think people haven't done the Dan Simmons stuff. Like people kind of lay off the Dan Simmons stuff, but I think that's an author that people aren't. Hyperion is one of the most amazing books I ever read back in the late 80s. So I think there's stuff to be done with Dan Simmons stuff that people aren't exploring as strongly.
What
and they need.
Books are they, John? I don't think I never.
They're like science fiction books and some horror books as well. And he does historical fiction books like the Terror series with Kieran Hines. That was based on.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah, he had like a one sort of work that was his claim to fame.
Yeah, that's the one you could look at as one. And I have his book, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, which I thought was fantastic as well. So I think though series wise you go, but you could also make them into movies. Could be fascinating to explore in that way.
Put an author on my radar. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Brooklyn says, I need my Dane DeHaan fix. Jeff, can you help me? There's no data.
Yeah. Go watch American Primeval, man. That first episode. Did you watch that, John?
I haven't said. Is it good? Do you like it? Is it good?
I only watched the first episode.
Okay.
And I have meant to continue, but there's been so much TV. Dude, the fucking end of that episode, it's nuts. And what happens with Dane DeHaan's character is nuts.
Craziness. All right. Jeb Mellon jokes says Jurassic Park's last Final Destination crossover. Dinosaur is killed while performing a stunt with Mr. Beast. The kills pass on to all Mr. Beast's followers. The runtime is 1 week and 2 days. Marketable or nah? LOL. I think it's marketable.
Pass.
Mr. Beast. I mean, he's making a lot of money there on Prime Video right now.
That show is amazing.
Yeah, I see.
Beast Games is maybe the best show on television. That is like, dude, have you watched an episode?
No, I haven't watched any of these. I've never watched anything from Mr. Beast. I don't know what he does. So.
Never seen anything like it.
I know he's famous.
I safely say that.
Okay. Calvin Patel says, I believe Derek Hoffman is one of Christian's friends. He talked highly of him and was excited about Star Wars if it goes well. Oh, okay. Good to know. Well, I'll talk with him about it on Monday, I'm sure.
And the Christians is a friend of ours.
Yes,
and likewise, Derek. So, friend of Christians should be a friend of yours.
That's I agree. Yeah, there you go. Come on, Derek. 34 Virgo says, Kathleen Kennedy giving Hawk Tua. Why isn't she fired? Oh, Jesus. 34.
Dare you. That is.
I'm sorry. I didn't read it before I read it. Sorry. Mike Maver says, whatever happened to John Cusack? He started
went off the deep end.
Yeah. He kind of made some bad projects and then he dialed into the, what do you call it? I don't know, the political ideology that's way out there. And I think that's kind of what sank him in the long run. And choosing just bad movies, and so, yeah.
He could be interesting in like the right indie.
Yeah, sure.
Like just like a weird random role, like the way like Matthew Broderick pops up in Manchester by the Sea.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like that's what he kind of needs.
Yeah.
Some path back, but yeah, I just don't think people really want to see him anymore.
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah. King Sport Cal says, indeed, the live was lit last night. Keep it up. Thank you, Calvin. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, brother. Sean K says, just sending best wishes to the best duo currently on YouTube. Keep up the great work, guys.
Hear that, Mr. Beast?
Oh, please. Please, Mr. Beast. Come on in here.
Bring us into the channel.
Please. NLSVC 96 says, Jeff, do you know if Denny needs to move away from the genre films to get some love from the Academy? I think he was the best director this past year. I agree.
Dude, I don't know what the Academy's smoking anymore with directors.
It's because they have a bias for sci-fi, man. That's what it is.
I'm pretty sure Dune 2 is the only movie this year that made my jaw drop.
Yeah, agreed. I am Jax12 says Canelo versus Jake Paul May 3rd. What the fuck? Is that real? Holy shit. Did they announce that? I know he pulled out of his fight with Terrence Crawford. Is he really? Oh, shit. Yes, Calvin. Yeah, this came over 26 minutes ago. Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul are finalizing deal for a cruiserweight fight on May 3rd. Will it count? Or is it a money grab? I don't know.
Tired of these celebrity boxers fighting each other for no stakes and a shitload of money.
It should count on the record. If Canelo's going to fight him, it should count for the fucking record.
I got into the fucking ring with an animal for free, so.
When is that sequel? When is that rematch happening?
Well, yeah, exactly. I need him a few more years till he's like in for he can't move anymore.
What do you say now, Uwe? Jack says, any new info on if there's going to be a new Marvel film releasing before Secret Wars, or is it just Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, then straight into Secret Wars? What about that mystery project filming in the fall of this year? Yeah, Jeff, have you heard anything? That's a Marvel question, so have you heard anything on this?
That is a Marvel question, which means it's eligible to be answered tonight.
Yes, tonight.
No, I had, a very good source reach out and say, I think that Marvel is going to do 4 movies this year.
Okay.
Avengers ×2, Spidey 4. And what is the other one? And we were like kicking it around. I was like, is it Blade? Is it DS3?
Right.
Strange 3? Is it something else? I really don't know. But I still think Blade has a director.
Oh, well, there you go. All right.
I just don't think it's public.
We haven't said it yet.
And I still can't get it.
Wow, really? Wow.
They're being, I'm not going to push. Like,
yeah,
the sources are so good to me. Like, I can't push them and be like, well, what the fuck? What about this? If they're uncomfortable saying something at some point, then I have to respect that and hope that when they are comfortable or when things are further down the line, they'll think of me. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't burn sources like that.
True. It's good. Brennan Mars says, here's some love for you, Jeff and Rocha. Oh, thank you, Brennan. Very kind of you. Always good to see you on the show, Brennan. Samo says, what is a movie you would like to see get a Criterion Collection release? Mine is There Will Be Blood and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, both of which don't have a 4K Blue release, which they should. Yeah, I agree on There Will Be Blood. It's shocking that's not a Criterion. I don't know. Jeff, One Flew Over is one of your favorite movies.
It is. Wait until dark.
The Audrey Hepburn one?
That's right.
Nice choice.
I don't love a lot of old movies. I can probably name 5 I really like, but Wait Until Dark is one of them.
Yeah. You'll have to come back to me. I have to think a little bit more to see if what I want to think for Chris, because my Criterion collection is quite extensive, so I'd have to think of what I would like to see there that would make sense. Fantastic says, "Hey, Hot Mike, showing my support for what you two do here. Thank you, Fred. Mad Dog Jeff and Take No Shit Rocha are putting Hollywood on notice until they come correct. My dudes. There you go, Jeff. Thank you to Fred. Right?
It's Fred.
I am Two Fly Cam says, can't watch live, but wanted to ask if there's any Star Wars developments. It seems like Disney had the stunning realization Star Wars belongs in theaters, LOL. They lost 700,000 subscribers from their live streaming for a reason. I haven't had Disney Plus since Ahsoka. Thanks. Yeah, Jeff, we didn't even talk about that. Disney Plus losing 700,000 subscribers. That's a sizable loss. Even if they were like 4.4 million up a few months ago, 700,000 is a hell of a indication that maybe you're not doing the right thing on that streaming channel. What are your thoughts?
I can't tell you the last time I opened the app. I mean, actually I can. It was this week. Okay. It was the night before I got sick. We watched Turner and Hooch.
Oh, yeah. The Tom Hanks film.
I love Turner and Hooch. But before that, I had not opened the Disney Plus app probably since season 2 of The Mighty Ducks.
Oh, wow.
So I'm not surprised that app has a lot more churn. Right. Plus, kids tend to age out of it, right? You get it for your kids, and then once your kids maybe grow up and make friends and start playing soccer or sports or whatever, you don't need Disney Plus to babysit them as much. I don't know. You think if there's anything else behind that drop?
Yeah, no, I think it's been the combination of Ahsoka, Ahsoka maybe, and also the Acolyte. I think there's just this and some of the Marvel shows. I think there's this feeling that, like, why do I have this when it's not that great? I do think that people have turned on Disney pretty strongly and are now not subscribing to Disney Plus. I opened it up today to watch the Spider-Man show because we're reviewing it on the Geek Buddy. So I like the content that Disney Plus has, but I totally respect people going like, you know what? I joined for Marvel, I joined for Star Wars, and they're not really doing it well. So I don't want to join anymore.
I think that there's going to be a spike with Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yes.
Like that is when I will open that app and I will definitely be watching Daredevil. But you're right. I can't even remember the last Marvel show I watched.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let's keep going here. I know we're a little over, Jeff. I'm trying to run through these quickly. Doug Developer says, I find it kind of funny that Karla Sofia Gascon is all on her own. If she were at least a cisgender person, platforms like the Daily Wire would be rushing to her defense, crying freedom of speech and cancel culture, but instead they are all silent. That's an excellent point, Jeff. If this was a cisgender straight person, the right would be going crazy about Hollywood and the hypocrisy of Hollywood and cancel culture and all of this stuff. But because they're all on, it's so funny, they're all on Justin Baldoni's side against Blake Lively. So I think that's actually a really good point. What do you think about that?
What was it again?
If she was straight, do you think the right would be like?
Yes. Yes. She is kind of on an island of her own making, if you will.
Yes.
But yeah, like I tweeted, like, welcome to Hollywood. Like, everyone's best friends with each other until it's no longer cool to be seen with you, and then drop you like you never even existed.
100%. Tristan said, Snyder's cock is more reliable than my time to shine. Hello. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Jake tipped here. Any news on J.J. Abrams' upcoming film or any more details about the premise? Will it be a trilogy? Sounds like Powell was right to pass on Jurassic. Yeah, maybe. Maybe Glenn saw that this wasn't going to be that great or magical of a film and was like, yeah, I'm good. And Jonathan Bailey's in there now, and it's...
Well, he wasn't even going to be the lead. I mean, it's Scarlett's movie, even if it was Powell. So, I mean, that's why, when he's with Daisy Edgar Jones, then it's a Glenn Powell movie. When he's with Scarlett Johansson, it's going to be a Scarlett Johansson movie.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I think it's smarter to do original stuff anyways. And I have not heard anything more about the JJ movie, and I have been getting asked it a lot.
Okay.
People are like, we should be hearing more about that soon.
Yeah, the interest is growing, it seems like. Doug also says, happy Oscar season, guys. What do you think is the most cringy Oscar-winning performance? To me, it's Sean Penn in Mystic River. Oh, that scene of him crying on the front porch. I really want that Oscar. Yeah, is that my daughter in there? Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I did not like his performance in Mystic River. Tim Robbins, though.
Mystic River is great.
Tim Robbins was great.
Dude, it was a bad Oscar-winning performance. I mean, you're putting me on the spot. I don't
know. What about Holly? Do you think Halle Berry deserved it for Monsters Ball? Do you think that was a good performance?
I'd have to see who she was. Yeah, I can't be put on the spot with these things. I gotta look. What was she up against? Who was snubbed that year? Who really deserved it?
Gotcha.
I go on the record with these kinds of opinions.
Good point. Doug, we'll have to circle back on that one here. All right, let's see. We got two more here. One more here. R.A. Papermaster, you can make Magneto black and keep his origin. Black Jews exist. David Diggs is Jew. Yes, but there were no black Jews in fucking during the Holocaust. They were being killed there in where they were in Germany. For God's sakes, that is not a thing. So. At least I don't think so. Maybe some historical person can school my ass about it, but I've never seen that or read that in any documentary or any book that there were black Jews in Germany that were also being killed by.
I believe it. I think the quote actually was, "Moses ain't got shit on me."
Oh, Jesus. There it is. Well said. All right, 3 more of these. We're out. I know Brooklyn. Oh, by the way, Mahomes will win another Super Bowl against the Panthers in 2027. The script has already been written by Damon Lindelof. Remember this day. All right, done. I am Jax 12 says Dungeon Crawler Carl with Seth MacFarlane adaptation. I don't know anything about that, Jeff. Do you? Okay. And Forging Faith says, who fumbled Steven Dorff's career after TD3?
Whoever expected Steven Dorff to get TD3. I mean. What do we want? That was the peak. I think Dorff is actually a really interesting character actor when he gets a chance, and you should track down a movie that he did. It was like a boxing movie, and his kid's a boxer or whatever, and then it was good.
I also think he's fantastic. If you guys haven't seen Old Henry, the one with Tim Burton, he is so good in that Steven Dorff. So. I agree with you. I thought his deputy show, I think is what it's called on Fox, a little uneven. He was great in it, but the show itself was a little uneven, which was unfortunate because I thought that show had real potential. But yeah, I like Steven as an actor as well. I think he's a damn good actor. And just
what he'd be good in?
Go ahead. What?
Which is coming together now.
Yeah.
Or starting to. Mm-hmm. Season 6 of Fargo.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
He'd be like a perfect Fargo actor.
Mm-hmm.
Dorff with a weird fucking name.
Weird name. Yeah, you're right.
I do think that season 6 of Fargo will happen before season 2 of Alien Earth. By the way.
All right.
What are you laughing about?
I'm just saying I didn't know there's going to be a season 2 of Alien Earth. You know that's happening? I didn't know that was happening.
Was that announced as a limited series or a series?
I don't know. I have no knowledge of it, but I'm just like, well, let's see how season 1 goes. That's how my mind works on it. So we will see. What is the one, the boxing one? The Price We Pay? No. Embattled? Embattled, is that the boxing one? Yeah. That's the one. Yes. That's so funny you referenced that movie. We interviewed David McKenna on the Cinephiles. He came on and did Reservoir Dogs with us. So David is an awesome dude, man. So
his kid's in the movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a good little indie movie.
Yeah. Was it Jamie King says, I hate the white mic and headphones, John. For love of God, Sharpie new shit. Suck my balls. I'm gonna do what I want to do. All right, there you go. Thank you. What? I like the look. I don't know. You should tell you what, buy some.
Who cares what the color of the microphone?
No, yeah. Buy. Tell you what, buy me this stuff. Sharpie it yourself. Send it to me, and I'll put it on air. How about that?
I don't want to be judged based on my good looks. I want to be judged for what's good.
Yeah, the content of my character. The MLK dream. The content of my character. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us, especially because we went 15 minutes over your usual time. Thanks for all the Streamlabs and Super Chats. Thanks for sending love and support to us. Over almost 60 of them. Thank you so much. Jeff, The Insnider, let them know where to subscribe and follow everything that's going on, brother.
TheInsnider.com. Scoop coming tonight.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it will get out there tomorrow probably. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with us. This is a long episode. And forgive my bouts of egomania in the middle of the episode.
Yeah. Everybody loves you for that. As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Don't forget about that. Please come subscribe to it. But really, more importantly than anything else, subscribe to the channel down below. Marching close to 40,000 subscribers at our pace. Please subscribe. Leave your comments. I'm going to have the time codes up. And share it on your social media so we get more and more people joining us here on the Hot Mic. We'd appreciate it. All right. For my partner, Jeff Sneider, I'm the Outlaw John Rocha. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode here of the Hot Mic. Peace.